Country
Hello.
was that? Hello.
I have a funny coincidence. Uh,
Oh no.
we're dealing.
Shit about Amazon?
No, it's about our game and the music that I was just playing for the intro sequence. Uh, so we're dealing with the possibility of shape changers. At least one person who really seems to have changed their form anyway. The name of the song. I'm listening to a Warhammer 40k Chaos music mix from Officio Auditorium. Thank you again, Officio Auditorium, for letting us use your music. Um, the title of the specific song it's on: Ritual of Change.
Check.
Convenient.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm
Welcome
going to
back.
pre-apologize to the 3 people that watch our streams. I'm sick. Enjoy my coughing noises.
Well, that means you're sick in canon, so
Yep.
Flux caught.
That just means I'm role-playing really well. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
ammonia from the scuba diving. Let's go.
That's actually exactly what I was gonna
Fuck
go
it. Fucking bog water.
Yeah,
dreamy,
That
mean,
tracks.
That water probably has a hell of a lot of germs in it.
But yeah,
Yeah,
welcome back
that
everyone,
tracks.
to the Liberation of St. Cardias Rest, episode 40.
Holy
Believe
shit.
it or not.
What are we doing? Wait, what are we doing for the year mark? We've got 12 weeks to figure it out.
True.
We all get on camera and dab in unison. Easy.
Yep. So what are we gonna do for the other 3 hours and 58 minutes of the stream?
You think you can't dab for 3 hours and 50 minutes?
I think I'd get tired.
We'll see how far we get in the campaign I've got planned, but I might have something for that.
All right,
Sick.
all right,
Hey.
Mason. The next 4 hours, dabbing while role playing and playing the game.
I'll do it for the year mark.
Fair.
Yeah, you know what, actually? I've got a good idea that we can do for that.
Awesome. Well, we can definitely talk about it later. I'm looking forward to it.
What I'm hearing is we all get trashed.
Oh, we could do that anyway.
I don't know.
But yeah, we return as Riven led the squad in capturing a runaway after discovering the body of the elder twin Lucas Birch. They chased down this interloper, wounded him, shot him in the leg, and found Lucas Birch.
Supposedly.
All right. So, just who are you? At this point, we're all sitting like, if I remember correctly, I got Nualia, and who else came on this mad adventure?
Agronstrom's there, and I will note that he's not sitting, but it doesn't matter because he's about as tall as you sitting.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Right.
Flux had come on their way, but they ended up just crouched on the ground wheezing. So y'all went ahead.
So, who are you?
The young man sits a little awkwardly on the ground, cradling his lasburnt leg, looking very frightenedly between you all.
As
So-
you should.
I was working on the truck in the garage, the one that you helped fix, and I heard something moving. Went to go and investigate, and a motherfucker that looked like me jumped out. It was a fight. He pushed me about. I slammed into one of the shelves. I managed to trip him, and I stabbed him in the neck with a screwdriver and fucking legged it. And then you guys shot me.
Yeah, okay, I don't really believe that, but
As well, you didn't answer the question. What's
Who
your
are
name?
you?
Lucas Birch.
All right.
You,
Well,
you met me and my sister. And he points at Agrotron. You went with my dad on the car out to
Oh.
the herds.
out of character. Is this the kid that had the broken arm?
Yes.
How does his arm look?
Go ahead and give me a Medicaid roll.
Okay. Let's see. Do I get the bonus? My class bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. 8.
His arm definitely looks injured, though. It looks in good condition. No sign of infection. It's healing well.
Look,
Would one
Lucas. Oh, sorry, go
so,
ahead.
would one might say a little too quickly?
Considering last time you saw it, there was definite signs of infection. It looks better off than you would have expected. He might just be very healthy, but
Okay.
Look, Lucas. We were looking around. We found a body in the garage, and we saw you take off faster than any human I've ever seen move.
Yes, I thought you were a knife eaters with how fast you were moving.
I don't. That's okay. Look, let's cut.
What did Have you even seen one?
Look.
The point being, you are running faster than any of us have ever seen,
Certainly faster than we would have expected from
and making
Lucas
some
Birch.
and making some very unusual movements while you were running.
he looks
So-
a little incredulously between you. Alright, give me a gun and you start running. See how fast you go.
That's fair. Look,
That
Have you
doesn't
always
explain
been
why
Lucas
you were
Birch?
running.
I just got attacked by a guy who looked like me. What do you expect?
For you to go back into the village and, I don't know, talk to the soldiers.
Yeah, I would have if you hadn't fucking come after me and shot me in the leg.
Well, you were screaming about, you might be one of them! And I was like, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what one of them is.
Yes.
Whatever he is, go fucking check his body. I don't know what he is.
Oh, we
He
will.
looked like me.
actually, Nualia, would you mind going to check?
Absolutely. I can
Okay.
do that.
Go take a look at that, and we'll stay here with Lucas.
Would it be better to bring Lucas with us? Maybe not into the exact room, but still
No,
have him
he's
in the
in a-
building?
No, because he's having kind of a day already, and I don't want him to feel like he's being coerced, because that's not really what this is.
I mean, we could
I
at least bring him
mean-
somewhere, like, less out in the
This-
open.
There,
Glanced down at your leg. Could have fooled me.
there
Yeah,
is also
I know.
there is also the possibility that this is not Lucas, in which case we have a hostile shape changer.
Yes,
And
which is why I
he-
have Agiltrom here,
Well, that's fair.
Insert
and
X
also
noises
why we
here.
have at least one sniper posted currently.
That is fair. All right. If you feel it is best, then I'll go check on the body.
I think the situation does not need to escalate any further than it already has, and I think we have a lot of questions and not a whole lot of answers yet.
All right. Then yes, I'll go check on the body. Yep.
I will say, in my experience, where there is one shape changer, there is usually more.
You're
They're
probably
a lot
right.
like bugs. You
Okay,
see.
that's. I feel like they probably wouldn't want to be called bugs.
I'm
What do you care for a shape changer's feelings?
They're still people.
How do you know that?
well.
I mean-
How do you know that they look like people, but they could literally just be big bugs taking the
Lucas.
shape of a person to eat them?
Lucas, are
That's
you a person?
that's what a whole race of creatures do.
Lucas, are you a person?
Think so?
Okay, so there you go.
Of course they would say it is, if it were. What?
So
What
he thinks
logic
he's a
is this?
person. Well, he thinks he's a person. So what makes him not a person?
But you're presuming that he is a shape changer. What I'm saying is that
Yes.
any creature which presumes to take the shape of another one would of course say the words if it were asked, yes, I'm a person, because it's trying to pretend to be a person.
Agiltrom, do you know that your axe has a machine spirit in it?
Yes, because it was built with it.
Well, actually, it wasn't.
Yes,
if
it was.
Oh, was it? Oh, interesting. So your axe actually has two machine spirits.
It's probably half ancestor spirit, half machine spirit. I don't know how those intermingle,
Do you
but
think your axe thinks of itself as an axe?
sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay.
Forgive me, I hear it too, but I don't think I hear it the same side you do.
Hold,
Wha-
hold that thought.
Well,
Can I make a Medicaid check on Lucas? See if there's anything. I don't know. Does he secretly have augmetic legs that make him move really fast, or something
does he
particularly?
have scales on his skin, or
Does
just,
he have scales
yeah,
on his
just
skin? Does
anything
he-
that gives it away?
Do
Yeah.
his
Could-
eyes blink horizontally? Like, you know, anything that might be notable.
Are there gills on the side
Go
of
ahead.
his neck? Is
Go
the
ahead,
town's
you're
name
good.
Innsmouth?
Are his toes webbed?
Yeah.
Toes webbed. Is he a witch? Um,
Well, really, what we have to do is take him to the local well, tie a rock to it.
Alright, look.
If he
Lucas,
drowns, he's not a witch.
Look, I'm sorry that we shot you. Can I take a look at your leg? I just want to make sure that there's no, no infection, no anything that'll get worse.
He frowns a little, watches you a little suspiciously, but rolls up the now fairly tattered leg of his trousers, revealing a fairly nasty burn wound.
Yeah. Still on stun, it still hurts like a motherfucker. Okay, anything out of the ordinary on the leg? Anything that I would notice before?
It seems to be a normal human standard fleshy leg. You can't really see anything particularly unusual about the skin or the way it's structured. It seems to follow all the basic rules of normal human anatomy.
That's good enough for me.
It looks... The wound looks surprisingly clean,
Yeah, okay.
but that's about all you could really say for it.
Would you come back with us to the town so we can figure out what's going on here?
Can my sister and parents be there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hmm.
Alright then.
Would that not be bad for interrogation, presuming he is a shape changer? Because then he could play off familial guilt on us
So
and
vocally,
create a greater situation.
so vocally, Flux can outrank me if they need to. All right,
He's like,
so
what? Yeah, he's gonna go on comms to Flux then be like, Flux, can you tell Riven to do not do something dumb?
What the fuck are you even doing?
We're interrogating a possible shape changer, and she's trying to bring it into the family of who it might be impersonating.
not it.
You're interrogating someone in a field.
Yes,
Yes,
Why didn't
Right.
you bring them into custody first?
yes,
because
but
we don't.
what,
need to-
but what
I'm
I'm
trying to
saying is,
de-escalate.
what I'm saying is that getting the family
We're
involved is
soldiers. We're supposed to escalate.
what that's. Look, I don't
I'm
care
a
about this
Texas- I'm a-
escalation.
I'm
Our
a
job is the escalate.
What I'm trying to say is getting the family involved at this stage is bad news and is only going to make this 10 times more difficult.
Nualia
Let's-
is going to get on the Vox at that moment, because I'm assuming this is all happening pretty clearly
Yeah.
on the Vox.
Yep.
Nualia just says, "There's also the possibility that if he is demanding to be near the family, he could attempt to take hostages during
Yes, I thought of that.
anything, as well as the family itself could be
Here's
not human."
what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab the family, keep them somewhere separate. Gonna tell him that we're bringing in the family, take him into custody when he gets in here. Then we'll see what's up if we can.
Sounds good.
And
Okay.
while Nualia was walking away, she is going to and is headed back to the garage. Once she's out of earshot of everybody, she's going to actually take out the inquisitorial rosette and contact the interrogator.
I'll be right back.
Alright. There is the
Um,
familiar.
It can wait.
Alright. There's the familiar click, pause of static, and then the interrogator's voice. Report?
Sister Noalia reporting in from the mission we were assigned. There's been a development. We have two of the same person. One a dead body, one alive. Possible shape changer activity. Is there the possibility of a genetic analyzer available?
There's a brief pause. We do not have any inquisitorial assets in the area. How urgent would you categorize your requirement of the necessary tools?
At the present moment, we do not know which one of these may or may not be the shape changer, or if anyone else in the village may or may not be. We do not have very much information to go on at all, so at the moment, I would say not very.
Understood. We can have an aerial drop deliver needed equipment, but it will take a minimum of 1 or 2 hours to prepare the aircraft for delivery.
That should be more than sufficient. It is appreciated.
What are we getting delivered?
Genetic analyzer.
Ooh, dab.
And then, yeah, with that, Noelia will just say, I will continue my investigation alongside the rest of the squad. Are there any precautions that you advise I take?
Data on potential shape changes is limited without clarification of specific genus or type. However, standard inquisitorial protocols demand that the suspect be isolated immediately.
Understood. Any risk to the rest of the platoon with their presence?
Greatest risk is from fermentation of confusion and dissension among the ranks.
Understood. Thank you very much, Interrogator. Noalia out. And yep.
The box clicks quiet.
And Noalia will go on to the Vox again and say, sometime within the next possibly 2 to 3 hours, we will be having a shipment of necessary equipment, including genetic analyzer.
Great.
Understood. Let's continue bringing them into custody, and I want to have a private conversation with you all.
Understood.
Copy.
Understood.
Alright, so, Lucas, you cool with heading back? We'll take you in. I don't want to arrest you. I don't think it's that kind of thing.
You're sure my parents can be there?
I mean, I don't see why not. Wait, do you... I mean, is there someone else you can use for moral support? Is it like a moral support thing, or what? Because, like, we're not really accusing you of anything. We just want to figure out what's going on.
No offense, but you shot me.
I didn't shoot you.
Well, one of you did. Like,
That's fair.
aren't you in
Damn
command?
minute.
Your thing?
So, well, no, I'm a tech priest in Mechanicus. We try not to shoot people when we can avoid it.
Yeah, but they do what you say, so...
Only some of them. But yes, no, look, I will take responsibility for you getting a shot in the leg. That was not a great move. It happens, you were running, there was a lot of confusion. Look, I'm asking, can we head back to the village? Are you comfortable with coming with us?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
Sure. Let's try.
Good job turning that into a persuasion from a deception.
I think
Yeah.
they're the same for me now,
Fair.
actually. Yeah, 2. I'm gonna, you know what? First roll of the day. I'll keep that.
He looks a little uncertainly from you to Agrotrom, and then back at the village. I don't know. What
It's
if
better
you
than taking your
just
chance
gonna
somewhere
like
else.
throw me in a room and take away the key?
I mean, it's,
That would be a bad move in general. If we're
yeah.
trying to discover something, just locking you in a room and walking away is probably the absolute worst thing to do.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
right. We're not gonna like ditch you. That's not how we work, and that's not how we solve a problem.
Then what are you gonna do?
We'll talk. Do you know the analogy of the ration bar and the bolter?
He frowns a little, shakes his head.
So the idea is you send two people in to talk to someone. One person's the ration bar. They're the friendly person. You know, they'll make sure that you've eaten, you get something to drink, and they're kind face.
The cook and the commissar.
The officer of good and the officer of bad. Yes, I know this.
No,
I've never
no,
heard of
Agrotrom-
ration bar and bolter though.
Well, no, all officers are bad. That's not a thing.
I mean, certainly the what do you call them? Arbites. Yes, they're a bunch of bad motherfuckers, little more than PFs.
Look, my point is,
But locals, not too bad, depending on planet.
My point is, I'm the ration bar. Someone like Nualia, potentially the bolter.
I love
And I'd
Sorry.
rather not have to go that route if we can avoid it.
Torp in chat. Ah, yes, the good bastard cop and the bad bastard cop.
Cheers, Torf. Cheers. Honestly, I spent literal days thinking about this and trying to figure out what an appropriate equivalent
I
was.
love this. Oh,
That's
this is
an
great.
intimidation roll, I think.
Oh, I
You're
suck at those.
threatening him with Nualia.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not trying to, but that is okay. Yeah, I just made myself very bad at those now, so this should be fine.
Like, the
I
main
mean-
gist of your argument seems to be that if he doesn't play nice, Nualia will play nasty.
No, it's that it's a lot smarter to play nice. I'm not gonna fucking
That's
enforce
the
July
same thing at the
people.
end of the day.
That's
You're like,
still
it's
intimidation.
That's the same way around.
It's smart to play nice because Nualia will shoot you.
Okay, no, it's smart to play nice because like we want to figure out what's going on here. But you know, it's
That's not what you fucking said, though.
all right. No, it's fine. You're right. You're totally right. It stands. I rolled a 0. I suck at intimidation, and that's okay. I'm not very
Aw.
intimidating.
But look, Agrotron, I'm just gonna turn to the guy. He goes, "Do you want complete honesty, Mr. Lucas?"
Sure. What have I got to lose now?
Look, I will admit this is a delicate situation. Okay,
Gasp.
there is the potential that you are not who you say you are. Okay, killing you or harming you to the point that you can't respond at this stage hurts everyone involved. So that's not going to happen. Okay? What we are probably going to have to do, okay, is take you to a spot and isolate you, and we speak to you one-on-one, probably bring a medical device with which to test you, and when we get the results from that, and it turns out that you're you, we let you go. And then we probably put out some kind of notice that, hey, there's issues that are deeper than the machine we need to resolve. And we stick around for a while and make sure that there's no other shape changers threatening the lives of your family or you or whatever. Yes? You see? You understand this process?
How's that any different than what I just said?
I
That's-
told him literally
You
everything in a
threatened him
line that
with
would happen.
Nualia.
That's
Yeah.
true. I did threaten.
There's
You
not
will.
even a single threat there.
No, there
It's
is.
just- I'm telling you. Well,
Yeah.
there's the
There's
implicit
an
threat
unspoken
of,
threat.
There's the
the
implication
implicit-
that if you're not who you say you are, we're gonna shoot you. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
in this-
actually,
in
the
this
real
context-
implicit threat was there's shape changers that will murder your family if we don't do this.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean, do we necessarily need to like? If they're shape changers, what are they when they're not other people?
Probably something horrible, considering that they tried to
Probably.
attack. considering that it tried to
Are you having
attack
this
initially.
conversation in character in front of the shape
Yes.
changer?
Yes. Yes, but it's probably over. No, actually,
No.
yes. This
No.
we're idiots. This is absolutely out loud.
Yeah, it's like just point it out, but yeah. So Hugh,
Yeah, Agro. I'm trying to decide if this is persuasion or intimidation.
It seems
Because on the one hand, you are trying to be honest and explain to him what's going to happen. But on the other hand, you also did imply that he is probably a shape changer who is going to be killed.
I would argue that while the circumstances are intimidating, Agril isn't necessarily threatening a repercussion.
Yeah, it seems
I
more
think
like a persuasion
is,
thing.
I
I
mean-
think persuasion is what we'll go with, because at the end of the day,
You're better at
are
intimidation, aren't you?
effectively trying to persuade
Yeah,
him to
that's what I thought.
trust you to be honest and find the truth. So I would say
sup-
persuasion.
I suppose that is the aim. Could I perhaps, I don't know, argue a
Attach a
bonus
threat?
for the
I mean, you can just punch him in the
honesty?
face if you wanted to intimidate him. Like that also
I
sounds
would
counterintuitive.
say,
What
for
he's
the
saying.
honesty, you can have an extra dice.
Cool. That's a total of 2 dice, everyone.
Out of curiosity, what is your intimidation?
What? Okay, I fucked
You
it up.
fucked
It's 3.
You-
Okay, whatever. I'll just roll another d6.
Yeah. Hey, two
Okay,
successes.
2 successes.
Flux is just gonna come on the comm. Status update.
We're working on it.
What exactly is your problem?
I don't want to shoot this guy. I want to know what's going on without having to, you know, incapacitate him. I would like him to come along willingly if possible.
Agril, drag his ass in. If Riven's choice doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, we're about to see the result of that.
He looks
You have
very
15 minutes.
All right.
He looks very uncertainly between Riven and Agrotron. I don't really know if I understand all of that, but I mean, you're gonna shoot me again if I try to run, aren't you?
I will have to use force. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
He sighs heavily, glances down at his leg. Yeah, alright.
Thanks.
Good.
Didn't want to have to shoot you again.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just I'll kind of like throw an arm around his shoulder and like kind of support him on the way back and
Yep.
take him back.
I will do you the sole kindness of using my legally distinct aloe vera gel. Puts it on his leg.
What in all hell is aloe vera?
Plant which help burn? I don't know. I don't know where I got this. I think it was.
Where do you come up with these names, Aquatrom?
No, look! It says it on the bottle.
Yeah, I see that it says it on the bottle, but that's definitely your handwriting.
No, it's not. I do.
Okay,
Vivian,
this
I
is
can't
all very
write.
cute. You can tell me about it later. Let's just
I
get this guy
can't
back.
write with it.
Yes, Aquatrom,
I know how to
understand.
carve runes, not write with pen.
Yeah, all right.
Look at his hands.
Yep.
I'd crush a pen if I held
Yep.
it.
I understand. All right. Sure you would. We'll just bring him back.
Oh my god.
Alright, where are you taking him?
Probably to the thorax.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, wait.
That's the best. That's the best containment spot we
Yes,
have.
but
right
let's
now.
clear it out so that no one else is there.
Best to use the one that doesn't have a radio in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Best to
I
use the one
mean-
that doesn't have the surveillance stuff.
Yeah. Flux would have been prepping an area
Okay.
to receive the person and giving the squad orders to stay away.
Yeet.
We would have moved the tentage away from the one Torox and scooted it
Okay, so we are doing the Torox then?
so that it's semi-isolated.
Yeet.
You are all soldiers and have lived in these Tauruxes for a little while now. You would be very aware that there is nothing stopping someone in the back of the Taurux from climbing into the flamer turret.
This is fair.
That's true.
Time to barricade the garage.
Yeah, bring him into the small
Well,
garage
no,
room.
I think that's messed up because the other that's outsiders noticing something weird's going on, and they're gonna deal with that.
Why
I think
don't
the answer is you just keep a guy posted.
Why don't we take him into the? Hold
Like,
on a second.
I think
You could just leave
take him-
Agrotron posted, and
No,
that would do it just fine.
I think just take him to the
So-
small garage room and have a guard watching
Yeah.
each door.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
I
was
don't know.
gonna
I think
say,
that creates panic.
So there's a small room in the garage that if you want to hear a very ribald story, you can ask Lace. Just let's head there. It's an office. It's got one way
Well,
in and one way
That
out.
was the one in the warehouse, but the one in the garage is pretty much the same.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say let's go with the warehouse, but
Oh,
either
well,
or is
yeah.
fine.
I mean, the warehouse also works. I forgot about that, honestly.
I would say use whatever is the
Oh, whatever's the
absolute
closer.
least distinct.
Actually,
Because
no,
the
sorry,
worst
scratch
thing
that.
we could do
Garage
is like
better.
get more people involved in this at one time.
Yeah,
End of
plus,
the
I
day,
don't-
we don't need to tell people what's going on.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't
Set
want
up
Marge
guards,
students through the-
proclaim the
But-
area off limit, nobody on our end talks.
Yeah, but having them ask questions in the first place is something good to avoid anyway.
It's also past curfew. Everyone's asleep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They might be looking at windows.
They're
Yeah.
not supposed to. They're not supposed to be out for many hours. So, we got time.
Let's use the
Well,
garage so that we don't.
I
have to-
will say the Habho hunt took about 4 hours.
So how long
Okay.
is left on curfew?
Uh, another 3.5.
Okay. Enough time
Yeah,
for the
let's-
genetic analyzer to come in, hopefully.
This is a good idea because if then Nualia can also examine the body, and no one will have necessarily seen anything that's happened yet.
All right.
Plus, it's a lot closer. We don't have to march this guy through the entire town to get to a warehouse. The garage makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. We can set up a area within the garage, and I think we should be able to have that ready for them, given how fucking long it took to reason with this guy. As if you need to reason with this guy.
I mean, I was just gonna kick
Man.
his ass, but I decided that Agrotron is like gonna at least fucking give
I'm amused
Riven
that
Way a
Riven's
chance.
trying. I'm amused that she's trying to be our PR person. We don't need PR.
I don't know. I like this aspect that you're as you yourself say, you're trying to be the ration bar in this instance.
Look, the way
That's
I'm thinking about
fair.
this,
Flux just
Yeah.
wants to shake Riven.
yes, that's fair. Okay. Look, I look at the situation and I immediately think stranger in a strange land, and this is someone who is completely out of their depth and doesn't know what's going on. I'm assuming innocence. I'm assuming shape changer, but innocent.
So
And-
I don't know. All evidence points to that not being the case.
That's probably
Yeah,
true.
it's-
But this is Riven, and Riven is
Yeah.
a dumbass
Yeah.
and has endless amounts of sympathy for a lot of Xenos. So
Yeah. While they're bringing the prisoner back, like probably long by that point, Nualia will have reached the body, right, and could start investigating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you re-enter the garage, stepping through the office and out into the garage proper, as you see Riven, Agrotron, and Lucas walk past the sullen entrance of the garage,
Oh,
heading.
aren't we keeping
Oh,
him in there?
No, you were heading to the garage itself as well. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. You step in past the ramshackle-looking ground car to the pool of blood and the body staring glassy-eyed at the wall.
Okay. Has the body had any changes on it since last seeing it?
Doesn't appear to. You
Okay.
guys didn't touch it. You saw it and then chased,
Yeah.
and nothing
Uh,
seems to have moved since then.
Then yeah, I would like to start checking over the body. Hell, Nualia's just gonna start performing an autopsy.
All right.
where in the general vicinity of the town is Flux?
Well, presumably you were moving up to the garage when you ran out of breath.
And the body is in the garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Flux is just gonna kind of sidle up to Nawalia. Is there any reason you need to do this here?
It is away from everyone at the current moment. I honestly cannot think of a better place to do it. I can clean it up quick before curfew ends.
Looking around the garage, is there anything that would absolutely be needed to be taken from the garage by the people?
You would know that the ground car is used in their day-to-day business, traveling out to the herds. The truck was previously used for supply runs, but it's still in the midst of repair.
Right. I will take the ground car out and we will declare the garage off limits.
Alright?
Nothing related to this comes out of the area. Most of the squad does not get status updates on this.
Of course.
In the future, if something like this happens, don't discuss it on our entire communications channel.
Understood.
Set up a private channel with me and Riven directly.
Will do. And Nawalia will go ahead and suggest a frequency for us to use.
Yep, not difficult.
Yeah. With that, yeah, Nawalia will begin her autopsy.
Alright, go ahead and give me a Medicaid roll.
Once again, with this, do I get the class bonus?
Yes.
Okay. Oof, I'm re-rolling that. There we go. 10, but a complication.
Alright. So, giving the body an initial once-over, the cause of death is quite obviously a large puncture wound in the neck. It's about maybe half a centimeter wide, but the skin opening is quite ragged and torn. But the puncture itself goes deep, piercing the carotid artery and the esophagus. It's quite clear that they bled out from this injury.
We learn anything
As
fun?
you set about an autopsy, you roll the body onto its back, strip it down, you check it over. It's quite clear that the body died very recently. The blood hadn't even begun to pool in the downward side. And as you open the torso up, you find all the organs you would expect: lungs, heart, liver, kidneys. The kidneys look scarred and in poor health. The liver looks a little pot-marked, a little bit of cirrhosis. Generally speaking, it seems to match everything you would expect for an adult human male.
What about his arm?
His arm is also injured. It looks much the same as when you left it.
Does it look less healed than the other Lucas?
It looks a little more inflamed, but that could just be the fact that you can see a couple of stitches that have been torn, presumably in the scuffle.
Okay. Nawalia will... Is Flux still there? I'm assuming not, with cutting
Flux
open.
would be going to ensure that the person got put somewhere secure, and then coming back to do car things.
Okay. At some point in that, if Flux is not in the room when Nawalia examines the arm, Nawalia will go on the private channel and say, Flux, can I have permission to go and check Lucas's arm?
Yeah, keep Agril outside of the door.
Will do.
Just know if two of you end up in there, you're both staying.
Oh, absolutely. If there are two of me, just shoot both of us, honestly.
Oh, I was gonna ask for a good childhood memory. Your deepest, darkest desire. Something like that.
You know, that actually is not a terrible idea.
What was saying? No idea.
Go on, lay it on me.
As you are
Hold-
finishing
no.
up your
No, hold on here. I apologize. Noelia just kind of looks up for a second. She's still like kneeling over the body. She kind of looks up for a second. When I was a child, I had a small stuffed animal. Before everything happened on my home world. I have no idea what happened to it, but I am concerned that an orc might have taken it.
Flux will just give a laugh over the comm. Well, ask me about my family. If I told you they were lovely or horrible, it's wrong. My
Because
Forge World did the whole family thing.
I was going to say, I think you've brought that up before, is that that's either you hadn't had one or that just wasn't a thing on the Forge world.
Raised communally. Had a sibling. Genetic.
Very well.
2 years younger.
Is
Might ask you later about all that.
this on all comms?
No, this is private.
the private line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just two of them, I think.
At the moment, yeah, because she hadn't had a chance to talk with you. So yeah, Noelia will head back, and she's going to say, "Hello, Lucas. It's good to see you again. How is your leg
Yeah.
feeling?"
You enter the small office space. There's a desk, a couple of filing cabinets. It's quite messy. There's also an array of tools and toolboxes, components for engines and such like. Lucas is sitting on the chair behind the desk, his injured leg propped up on the corner. He
I put him there
glances
because
at
it
it, then
would be harder to
over at
run
you.
out.
Well, it hurts like buggery, but I can still feel my toes at least.
That is good. We don't want those going numb. I apologize. I need to check your arm and leg one more time. I had a thought. I want to make sure that your arm did not get further injured in the fight.
Am I here or am I outside?
I'd say you're probably still in there.
Yeah, that
You
sounds right.
haven't called anyone over to keep watching him yet.
No, and I definitely would have put him behind the desk because it would be harder to run away from.
Yeah, he glances down at his arm, says, oh, now you mention it, it does kind of ache a bit. I think I hit it on something during the fight.
Yeah, Noelia will go up and she'll I'll do Medicae. I am specifically focusing on the state of his arm and any kind of extra injury that might have arrived from a fight, such as stitches tearing, additional bruising, anything like that.
Yep.
11.
Yeah. Looking over his arm, you can see very clearly on the wrist, it immediately leaps out. 5 bruises, like a handprint, around his wrist. Someone clearly grabbed this arm quite firmly.
Mm-hmm.
The wound in his arm, it looks slightly different from the one on the body. Like, the shape is ever so slightly different, but you can't remember which is the one that you recall initially. You've stitched up so many wounds over the years, they all kind of blur together.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that a couple of stitches have torn, and the wound does look pretty raw. It's bleeding a little bit Looks a little fresher than you would have expected, but that could be attributed to the fact that it's just been ripped open by a fight.
Yeah, as well, when he fell, that also could have... fell after being shot, that also could have happened as well. But yeah, Noalia will, while she's looking at it, and she's gonna start cleaning it up, she's gonna get some rubbing alcohol, sterilize the injury. She's going to say, Lucas, remind me again, how did you get this wound?
Fixing the truck. The damn thing fucking... We were working on the engine, and Jessa started it up. Everything seemed to be going fine. Fucking fan belt snapped, took off one of the fans, sliced up my arm.
Out of character, I remember them talking about the injury when we first discovered it. I'm trying to remember if this is the same thing. If nothing else, I can ask the sister.
Maybe a good roll? History?
Yeah,
something?
or hit insight check, as well as anything to try and remember what they said.
Can I
I'd say
make an
intellect roll if you wanted to try and remember.
Okay.
Can I make an insight check since I'm just kind of watching this happen?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'll do insight and I'll do intellect. I'm glad you did good on that one.
Oh, I got a 5. I
Yeah.
interpreted your roll as mine.
Damn.
Alright, so a 5.
Alright. Yeah, you can't recall if the story matches up, Noalia. Riven, he seems a little uncomfortable. But that could just be the fact that he's talking to the woman who shot him. It's hard to tell, but he does seem uncomfortable, very distinctly.
Does he... This is going to be weird through facial expressions. Does he look like he believes his own story? Is he doing... Like, is he doing any kind of obvious... How do I frame this? Because I've studied people and because I've studied technology, I know the kind of... and also because I've studied Medicaid, I know the psychological quirks that a person does.
The psych major in me is vibrating.
I'm sorry.
That's not how that works.
I know, I'm sorry.
It doesn't exist. Stop it.
Does it exist in 40K?
I hate it.
Okay, well, I'll be quick. I've
Should've played a
studied the
spiker.
kind of reactions that people have if they're lying or if they don't believe the things they're saying. Have I noticed anything similar to that?
It's hard to say. You haven't really got a baseline for how this guy behaves. You haven't really
Fair.
chatted to him a great deal.
Totally fair.
But he's certainly fidgeting a lot. He's pausing a lot in his recital of his story. That could be a mark that he's lying. Could also just be a mark that he's scared.
Yeah. That's
Could
fair.
be a mark he's in shock. Hard to tell without starting some tests, ruling out the variables, etc.
Mhm. Hey Lucas, when's your birthday?
Birthday. It's the 13th day of the 6th cycle.
I don't know how that works. I just want to know how. I don't know. It's an easy thing to ask someone to see if they're experiencing shock symptoms. You know.
Oh, all right. Is that
See Alex
normal if
glaring
you
at me
get a
right
shock?
now. Well, when there's interruptions in brain function, it's difficult to remember some basic things about yourself. When it gets really bad, or under extenuating circumstances, you might forget your own name. So,
Eager.
asking
Nods
basic questions like
slowly,
that.
Looks a little confused, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And Noalia just nods and says, "Indeed. As Riven says, all of this is to help ensure that your memory is as it should be, and that there are no lapses. If there are any such lapses, then that could be that could be something to let your family know about, so that they can help you through it.
He still looks a little uncertain, but nods. Alright, will my leg be okay?
With that, yeah, Nuali says, "I was actually getting to that," and she'll look at his leg again, check out the healing rate on it, how it seems to be coming along.
It looks a little less inflamed than you might have expected, but then again, you did turn it to low power.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's progressing about as you would have expected, though.
It will hurt for a while, of course. It was a last shot. But you should be easily able to walk around again with no trouble within a day, if even that long.
He gives a small sigh. Says, thanks, good. Can't be lying in bed. Too much to do.
No, of course. Yep. With that, Nualia will just kind of pat him on the shoulder and say, "Alright, well, I've redone your stitches as well as I am able to at this moment, and cleaned up what little bit I saw. Yes, thank you very much, and I will be back."
He gives you a small nod.
When Flux is done setting up the car and getting a watch set up around this building so that people can't come in, they're gonna head in that direction also.
Yeah. Nualia exits, closes the door. I'm assuming you're probably pretty much right there, and she'll relay what happened, and that she'll also say, "I do wish to go and ask his family about his injury, just to corroborate what he says."
The injury happened recently. If we're going to get corroborating anything, ask for a childhood memory from the sister.
Of course.
Something like an in-joke from when they were little, a toy that he liked, something like that. Something sentimental that wouldn't have come up in recent.
I can do that.
And, don't give details to the squad about what's going on.
Of course.
And don't give any further information to the prisoner.
Of course.
And, then Flux will poke their head in.
Yep, and Nualia will head to the family building.
As you head out of the garage, Nualia, you pass the car that Flux had brought out, and you can see Lanewald hurriedly following behind the elderly couple as they march very determinedly towards the garage and the car. Lanewald clearly trying to ask them to stop, but not really sure what to do.
Oh, well then in that case, Nualia will step forward and hold a hand up and say, "Hello, you shouldn't be out of your house at the moment. Can I help you?"
The older gentleman steps forward and nods firmly. "Indeed you can. What are you doing with our car? We require that for work."
"Oh, we're just parking it right here."
"Why are you parking it here? What are you doing with our garage?"
Oh man, out of character. This is the moment that I have to think, because we didn't come up with a good cover story.
You can always call me.
Yeah.
Agotron, if is Agotron within earshot of this?
I think you're still in the
I'm
room.
assuming you were with the prisoner still.
I don't know. It invited me in, and the last thing I heard was
Yeah,
keep
you
him
were
out.
outside.
That's
So-
You know,
yeah,
you were outside
Oh.
watching, so
Yeah.
however
Yeah,
much distance-
Flux would have wanted Agrotrom outside of the door to the room that the prisoner was in specifically.
on the
I
inside.
don't know
of,
if Flux got the chance to tell Agril that.
on the inside of the garage or the outside of the garage.
Inside of the garage, right, like the
Outside the
specific
office.
door, the first
Yeah.
door that he would be able to exit.
Yeah.
It's right there. Okay.
Either way, the question is am I within a distance to hear this going down?
I'm assuming that you have closed the 2 bay doors to the garage so they cannot see the body and pool of blood. Therefore, no.
All right, rest in peace suggestion.
Yeah, Nualia will just say, if you'll hold for just a moment, and she'll get onto the private line. Flux, the elderly couple that watches the Vox radio have come out and they're demanding to know what's going on with the garage. What do we say? Other than the fact that they're breaking curfew and need to go back in.
Tell them that, unfortunately, due to military matters that are on a need-to-know basis, we can't give them all of the information that they want at this time. Anything that they want out of the garage will be taken to them. As has the car been taken out of the garage, they are to stay away from it, and if they do approach or attempt to break in, we will hold them in contempt.
Understood. Yeah, yes, and Nualia will look back
Flux
to
would
the...
have put that on the, like, all channel, and just kind of add a... And that is all anyone is to tell anyone else that is not on this current channel for anything regarding this matter in the future.
Copy.
And yeah, Nualia will look back to the couple, kind of step forward a bit, still very much in their path, and say, at this moment, due to military matters, we have commandeered the garage. However, if there is anything that is needed inside of the garage, we will absolutely bring it to you or anyone else who may need it. The car itself is outside of the garage, so that all of you can easily access the car without having to, go around all of us. As well, so that we don't interrupt the day-to-day work of the village. However, as for anything else, I am afraid that is on a need-to-know basis. If we do see anyone attempting to break in, we will, of course, have to detain them. That is on top of breaking curfew, which she says while looking pointedly at them.
Go ahead and give me a leadership roll.
Let me see.
Could I argue that Flux could have helped given that they instructed?
Go on, I'll allow it.
What is with these fucking complications?
I mean, we got a bunch of glories last time.
We
so
did. We did. We were due for a bunch of complications
Yeah.
in a row.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so on and so forth.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, the elderly gentleman looks a little affronted and says, well then, you will be hearing a concerted complaint from the village elders come the morning.
Of course. If there are any complaints or any way that we can assist to make sure that this does not disrupt village life, then of course we will be happy to listen to those.
Out of character, if there are any complaints, feel free to talk to my sergeant.
Yes! Also, real quick, hello Raiders! Thank you Marvelius for the raid! Yeah, for all of those just coming in, hello! We're doing some TTRPGs. We're playing Wrath and Glory, a Warhammer 40k based TTRPG, and right now we're investigating the possibility of shape changers attempting to infiltrate a village. It's great. But also don't tell the village that. But anyway, it's going alright. Should we do a round of introductions for people who
Yeah, why not?
recommend?
Let's do it.
We haven't done them
Yeah,
in a
go for it.
while. So.
That is a good point.
Might help
Yeah.
to refresh everyone's memories of what everyone looks like.
Oh yeah, all right. So Hugh, do you want to go
Suck.
first?
I look like an amorphous giant golden glow sitting on top of a giant toilet.
Terrifying.
a perfect analogy for the Emperor.
Algotron's
He's-
short. He got a beard. He's Russian, and he's got an axe. The end.
And what is you, the player's name?
I'm Mason, not to be confused with the occupation.
Good to meet you, Mason. Avery, why don't you go next?
Sure, yeah. I'm Avery. I play Riven, our tech priest. So Mechanicus, she's scrawny, blonde hair, has a sniper rifle, tries to talk to people, tries to talk her way out of situations for reasons that no one in my squad understands.
Yeah, to point out the people on this particular picture. Thank you, Hugh, for bringing it up. There's Agril, the bearded dwarf sitting on the tank. Riven's there on the right hand side. Hugh is the smoke in the background.
Fog of War, that sounds right.
Definitely caused by me, all that smoke.
Oh my god.
Alex, you go ahead.
Yeah, I am Alex. My pronouns are they, them. My character's name is Flux. Shockingly, their pronouns are they, them. Who would have thought? I am the steampunk wannabe who decided to be edgy and make my own Forge World so that I could narratively declare that my uniform is different and is steampunk. That's literally it. That's how that happened.
Hey, it works.
And yeah, I'm the androgynous, non-binary wannabe steampunk sergeant. Woo.
The one who is leading our platoon, because they're just so happy for that.
Yeah, a full sergeant major now, not just a sergeant.
I'm almost glad this sickness is killing me.
And as for
The
me,
sad
go ahead.
I was gonna say, the sad thing is, they're likely the most qualified, which says something about us as a team.
Yup.
Absolutely true.
I think
about you?
arguably the next qualified person is actually Packard. Lanewald's great, but I don't think Lanewald quite has the plan making capacity that Packard does.
Lanewald and Packard together could lead a squad.
Yes.
One functional adult.
Yes.
Hard will
Yeah,
go
together
anymore
they are one
for
functional
accepting a
adult.
promotion.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you don't promote him. You just put him in the same place as Lanewald and be like, listen to him.
Yeah.
So Lanewald does the leading, and Packard does the behind the scenes.
As for me, hello. I am Kanuta, and I am playing Nualia, Sister Nualia, the sister of battle that is assigned to the platoon. She's a unique one in that she is more of a hospitaller than she is a fighter, and actually prefers tending to the sick rather than shooting people. But yeah. Welcome everybody to our Imperial Guard platoon.
By the way, a comment I was going to make earlier, and then I ended up coughing my lung out. The thought that if we brought his family in front of them, Flux wouldn't shoot him in front of them is really cute.
Oh yeah. No, it's that is
Like-
absolutely adorable.
Wait, did I say
Flux
that?
would stare him.
No,
Flux
no.
would stare him down in front of his family and shoot him still.
Yeah, no,
I would expect
the,
that.
the implication I think for him was very much like, I want my family there for moral support, and so you don't just immediately shoot me in front of them. It's just like, no, I think Flux and
Oh, that's
Nualia would
cute.
just double tap you right there. Oh yeah, another raid. Hi, Grace.
The real question for me is who did the double tap. Like, who shoots first and who's the double tap?
Yeah.
I need to know.
The answer is Agrotrom and Agrotrom because he's faster on the axe than anyone is with
You
a
don't,
gun.
you don't use guns.
You can't double tap with an axe.
Yes, I can. What are you talking about?
Double tapping with an axe is burning the body.
No,
You
it's
can't
I
convince
stab
me
you
otherwise.
once. You
Can I-
go
can I steal
down,
some
and you
minutes
might
with
still
the,
be
the
bleeding.
prisoner?
Well, real quick, just because another raid did come in, we're not going to do the introductions all over again.
good.
Apologize.
Fuck you, I'm Alex. You're welcome.
Hi, Alex. Good to see you. But
Glad to be here.
thank you, Grace and Marvelius for raiding. It's much appreciated. Just real quick, once over again. Hi, this is Wrath and Glory. It's a Warhammer 40k TTRPG. It's super cool. We're an Imperial Guard squad. Yeah, here's our squad. Now back
The
to
next
what we
time
were
you
doing.
do that, you need to tell the raiding party that we're playing a My Little Pony tabletop role-playing game.
You know, I
You
might.
act like we wouldn't.
You know,
I mean,
I
I
might
would.
Can that
but
be our-
I don't.
Can
I
that be our
might-
1 year?
I don't
I
want
might
it.
tell them that it's a
No.
Warhammer 40k My Little Pony
refuse.
crossover.
That
I
exists.
refuse. I
If
won't
it doesn't,
do
I'll
it.
write it.
I'm not doing it.
That means we all need to
That's
come
my
up with our characters' My Little Pony names.
Okay, we can do that out of session
I
now.
will have to
It's
find
not
a new
happening.
DM for that.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Finally. No, that's cursed. It's not happening.
Anyway, continuing on.
Yeah.
So,
Can I
Noalia,
steal some minutes with the prisoner, unless you're doing something?
I was just gonna say Noalia just finishes letting the elderly couple know what's going on and very pointedly reminds them there's a curfew. Get back to your house.
Yeah.
They are
after,
so lucky that we're nice.
Yeah.
after informing you that you will receive a complaint in the morning, the
Mhm.
two do make their way back to their house with Lamewold following on. As she walking behind them, she turns to you, Nualia, and just mouths, "Thank you."
Noalia just winks to her. And then she will continue on her way to this house in Riven. You can do your thing. It's your thing.
See, when
Do
you're
what
nice
wanna
to
do.
people, Avery, what happens is they think they get a say. That's what this created.
Yes, that's
If
fine.
you lead with, I'll shoot you, or you'll do what I say, then they realize they don't get a say.
Mm.
Flux
point.
already did the nice thing at your behest. From now on, it's I'll shoot you.
That's fine. Hey, look, I asked and you listened. That was fine.
Grace
I
had
wasn't
a-
expecting you
That's
to.
fine, but you get one per mission.
I understand, and I was not expecting you to bend over backwards, so I appreciate it.
Grace had a
Uh,
very good comment in chat, real quick. Just that picture of our squad looks very Metal Slug, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I do
Not
not know
wrong.
what that means.
All right.
I'll be back.
So,
It's an old arcadey video game.
It's a good one.
yeah.
And
It
they're
is a
making new
classic.
one.
Oh, I forgot they're remaking Advance Wars. I do want to try that out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
it does actually look quite Metal Slug. I think it's the tank that does it.
I like
Yeah.
arcade games.
But yeah. Riven, what are you doing?
So, you're not just gonna drop the act if I ask nicely, are you?
What act?
The... Look, I get it. I get being an outsider in a place you don't understand a lot. But, like, can we just cut the shit?
Let me know when Flux actually gets there, because I've been waiting.
Yeah.
And just watching the train wreck.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just let me know. Whenever.
Yeah, he frowns at you in confusion. You think I'm the fake?
Well, I know you. I don't think you're the fake, but I know that you're not. You're not Lucas.
Well, why would you say that?
I watched you move. People don't move like that. Look. I am trying to give you an olive branch, but I need you to be honest. I'm asking something very difficult of you, but I need information. And I need to know what's going on here. I'm Mechanicus. I am a devout believer in the Omnissiah, and the Omnissiah does not judge.
Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
He looks very confused and begins to slowly push his chair away from you.
Really? You couldn't just like really you like what would it take to convince you to just be honest with me?
I don't understand what you're accusing me of. You say I move weird. What am I supposed to say to that? Oh, yeah, I've got big bones.
I'm saying that we've got a body that looks a lot like you, and I don't know what you are, but the other one's dead, so I can't ask them. So I'm asking you.
No, you're accusing me. What are you asking me?
Are you human? That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
You fancy sororitas lady. She checked me over. Ask her.
She did, but I'm asking you. Are you
Um,
human?
I'm pretty fucking sure I'm human.
Do you remember where you were? What's your earliest memory?
What?
What's your earliest
Uh,
memory? Everyone's
look-
got something.
He looks confused and pauses for a moment. Uh, my dad standing over me, singing a song. I think.
Hmm. Do you remember when that was? Roughly?
I don't know. I guess I was a baby. Everything looked real big.
Hmm. I can't figure it out because I don't know. I know what you say you are, but I don't know what you are, and I don't know how much you believe of your own of what you're saying. And I can't really ask you, do you believe what you're saying? Because you're gonna say obviously yes, because anyone would, unless you're a very good liar. But I don't know that. See,
He
the
just
thing,
looks around a little helplessly. I
look,
don't even know what to say to that.
that's fair. I'm putting you in an awkward situation. I can't really, I can't cut you a deal, unfortunately. But I no, I can't cut you a deal. I can't make this any easier for you. But my own curiosity would really appreciate it if you'd tell me the truth.
I would say it is about this point that Flux arrives.
Right. Door swings open. Sick fucking twink walks in.
Probably hears
Right.
state of Flux as they go in. Give him hell, or whatever you people say.
Delightful. Yeah, Flux will just poke their head in and give the guy a wave. Riven, one sec.
Sure.
And yeah, bring Riven out into the hallway. Sorry, I'm trying my best actually to not cough on mic.
That's fine.
It's very difficult.
It's okay.
Geez, Flux, what happened to you? You look like you're coughing up a lung.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
I
What's
went
up?
You're in
diving,
denial.
but I'm not sick. It's just a sniffle.
Okay. We'll get you checked out later.
I don't need it. It's fine. It'll be gone
Okay.
by tomorrow.
Did you want to talk? Did you want to talk about something?
Yeah, I need to know exactly what you've told him.
Nothing really. I've been
Nothing about what we're doing, why we're doing it.
No. He doesn't know anything about that.
I'm
I've been
back.
weird and evasive, and I've implied that I don't think he's human, but that's about it. And I also told him that was my opinion, no one else's. I'm just trying to get him to be
Right.
honest, and either he believes that he's human, or he is human. I don't know.
Right. So, I want a general rotational watch until we can figure this out. Agral until you feel you need to leave, I would prefer you to be on first watch. It's
do that.
primarily going to be you and Nualia trading back and forth.
Okay, that makes sense.
Agril.
Hmm?
Agril is going to be doing the watch. And Nualia.
Okay.
Riven, I want you to handle the squad.
Okay, you don't want me in there with him?
Nope.
Okay.
I want everyone to find one other person and give a specific but old memory that they can ask you about. Don't tell anyone else, and pass that along.
Okay, I can do
Everyone
that.
else do a buddy system, not with the person they gave the detail to.
I can do that.
The only time someone's going in this room is under a very specific set of circumstances and is going in with a script from here on out. We need to be very careful with what information gets where and who comes into contact with who.
Okay.
As well, set yourself up a second private comm channel on insert frequency that Noalia gave me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You're fine.
you're good.
All right. So I'll set up that box.
Any further talking about what's going on here does not happen to the squad around the squad. We don't want people getting twitchy. Don't tell them why we're doing things how we're doing it. Don't give them any specific details except that we are holding someone in this garage and they are just as much not to come here as the townspeople.
Okay.
I want you to keep a lookout for any other odd happenings in the rest of the town or with the rest of the people.
Okay. So servo skull surveillance or like scope.
Yeah, basically do PR with the squad. Keep people looking the wrong way.
Okay, I can do that.
No details.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them running smoothly. Maybe make Lanewald yell at them. Anything to
Definitely
keep
do
their
that.
attention off what's going on here.
Yep.
And also, I want you to clean up the body once Noalia's done with it, but give it a second once over yourself. I want your opinion on it too.
Okay, I can do that. All right. So you want me body first then squad or squad first then body?
Body first, then squad.
Okay, I can do that.
And don't take the body out of the garage. Get it in something that we can either take back with us or burn if need be, but something enclosed. We just want the blood cleaned up.
Do you need something from me to verify identity?
If I'm the person that you want to give it to, Noalia has mine.
I think I trust you more than anyone else in the squad.
Go for it.
Just ask me for my name.
Sorry, I just coughed and heard nothing.
Just ask me to give you my name.
Okay. The whole point of details is that we know the answer, so that it's verifiable.
All right. If I give you 2 names, it's not me. Shoot that person immediately. If I give you 3 names, that's me.
Alright.
It's a last resort for me, and if it gets to that point, then I'm willing to say what I have to.
Alright. If there ends up ever being 2 of you walking around, that's what you're gonna have to say.
If I was ever prepared, this would be a good time.
Alright.
And then she walks off to go deal with the body.
and Flux will be heading back into the room.
All right. You head over to the body ribbon.
Okay.
And you can see a Y-shaped incision in the torso. Now fairly neatly stitched up, though it's still laying in a pool of blood and offal.
Oh, right, autopsy. I was wondering where the awful came from.
Yep. Gets
Is
messy
Nemalia?
when you start opening up a corpse.
Yeah, is Nemalia there?
No.
Nwalia has left.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's just me. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for any kind of, I, any kind of, any kind of Xenos markings, any kind of anything that I would recognize.
Go ahead and give me an awareness roll.
Sure. See how good my awareness is today. Five.
All right. No markings that you recognize from your personal history.
Mhm.
Nothing seemingly Xenos related. You can see clear signs of a struggle on the body, livid bruises that cover the arms and torso. Uh, can't get much more than that, though.
Can I tell how he died?
The large puncture wound in his neck and the large pool of blood around him would be your
That'd do
best
it.
bet.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Okay. Is he still clothed or is he naked?
He is buck naked.
Okay. Cool. All right. No tattoos, no anything.
There is a tattoo
Okay.
on the back of his right wrist, a small aquila.
Sure. Okay.
Found the other one.
Let's see. What else would I look for on a body? Anything unusual about his ears?
No, they
Shape,
seem like
size?
normal human ears.
Okay. Uh, I don't have any kit on me that would be helpful here either. All right. Yeah. Is there anything? Uh. All right. Two questions. Is there anything that I can use as a makeshift body bag? And then is there anything I can use to collect some of the blood that's splayed out everywhere?
You can see a mop and bucket in a corner next to a tap mounted in the wall
Okay.
and a drain in the floor underneath it. And you can see a couple of tarps laying about.
Cool. All right. So that'll do for the clean job. Um. Are there any kind of like vials or liquid containers?
There's
Anything?
a few cans of oil, promethium,
Yeah.
a
Throw the
couple of
blood in there.
empty
That's a good
cans
idea.
full of like old screws and stuff.
All right. I think I will. But no, nothing like a jar with a stopper.
Um, Not a jar with a stopper per se. There might be a couple of glass preserve jars that have been cleaned out and are holding like spanners or bolts of a certain size.
All right. Yeah, that'll have to do. I'll take the smallest one that I can find and see if I can collect some of the blood from the floor.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's too difficult. There's quite a lot of it on the floor. It looks like this individual bled out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll.
you're able to fill one of the jars with the slowly coagulating blood.
Fantastic. Um. Yeah. If I can do that, and if I can cap it with something, that would be cool. But I don't know.
I'd say there's probably a lid.
All right. Cool. So I'll take that. Store that on my kit, I guess. And
Yeah.
then I will I'll take the tarp, sort of move the body onto it, roll it up, and get around to start cleaning.
All right, then you set to work. It's going to take you a little while.
I figured.
There's a lot of blood.
Sure. Oh, sorry. One last thing. When I wrap the body, I would like to um, just just paranoia, shall we say? I'd like to like weight it down or find a way to physically bind it, just in case.
All right.
Double
Yeah,
tap.
there's probably some rope kicking about.
Yeah.
Some packing straps that you could bind it up with.
Yeah, I'd probably tie it up just to, I mean, make it look a little less like a body and maybe more like a, I don't even know. Something that might look a little less like a body.
I'm just gonna
Do you
Try to
wanna hide
disguise
a
the shape a little
body?
bit, letting it
Doesn't
puff
have to
out in
be
there.
in one piece.
Yeah. And then I'll get to work.
I'm gonna call it with these with what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with like a chaos infection or even necessarily tyrannids or anything like that. No. We're dealing with the thing.
So I collected blood.
Yeah.
Uh,
Put that blood under a fire and let's see what happens.
I have literally.
Ironically-
there's no way I would have seen a vid that was the thing. John Carpenter's the thing.
I like unironically, this is actually probably the worst setting for the thing to be in for survival purposes.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
no scruple about burning people alive in the 41st
Oh, yeah.
millennium. This is not a problem.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hell, we're
If
the
that-
fucking Torox Igni.
If that sort of thing did exist and it did get out and it started to spread, the Imperium would just glass the planet and move on.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
worth it at that point.
Yeah. My guess is that this is super chaotic because if it was a gene stealer, it'd be way obvious something was off, like really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, it would be pretty obvious.
I mean,
When
that's
I'm-
always one of the issues with space age technology and stakes. Because as soon as you get the technology to travel between habitable planets, losing a planet becomes like losing a city.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal if you can evacuate most people at the end of the day. And when there's millions of them in a bureaucracy that gives no shit, yeah, planets are wasted constantly.
It's actually one of the primary plot points of one of my favorite games. Giant infection happens on Earth. The survivors are all like, "Hey, fuck Earth, we're going to Mars." Like,
Yep, fuck that shit, I'm out.
yeah.
But yeah. We will return to Nualia first, and then to Flux.
Okay. So yeah.
You approach the door, Nualia. The lights are off, the windows dark.
Noalia is just going to gently knock on the door.
You hear a couple of thumps, some footsteps, something being knocked over, and then the door opened by
Excuse me.
the father.
Contagious across the internet.
The door is opened by the father, Mr. Birch, wearing a long nightgown and a little pointed nightcap.
So cute!
Yes, it's quite late, isn't it?
Yes, I do apologize. Just doing some of the rounds, checking in on everybody as part of our patrols and just making sure that everything's alright. Do you mind if I come in for a moment?
No, not at all. Please come in. He opens the door wider, takes a few steps back so you can enter.
Yeah.
Closes the door behind you. The room is quite dark, but he goes over to a little switch on the wall, turns it, and you hear a click and then a small whoosh of flame as gas lamps mounted on the walls
Oh,
ignite.
I like that. That was a good way of doing that.
Please, have a seat. He gestures to the rough-hewn wooden table and a collection of mismatched chairs around it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, she'll sit down.
I'm afraid
Can the
my-
chair take her weight?
It can. It's not a very elegant chair. It's fairly roughly made. Seems to be handmade by someone who's not the best carpenter. Maybe they do it as a hobby. But coincidentally, it happens that it is quite thick and sturdy. Perhaps a lot more sturdy than it really needs to be for most people.
For the rest of the family, it's a little too hard, not enough give. For Nawali, it's just like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, he takes a seat opposite. And says, I'm afraid my wife and children are sleeping at the moment. But how can I help you?
As I said, we were just checking in with everyone, making sure that nothing untoward has happened during the night. I do apologize that we had to wake you for this, but we figured that it would be best to do that during the night rather than discover anything in the morning, if you catch my meaning.
No, I'm afraid I don't. My family are all here. Has something happened?
No, I apologize. I didn't mean to imply that anything had happened. Simply that we would rather check up on people during the night to make sure that nothing has happened, and not maybe have something happen during the night that we were unaware of, only to discover it in the morning.
Oh, right, yes, of course, I understand. That makes perfect sense. Well, we are doing well as far as I know. I was sleeping quite well. My wife is still asleep, fortunately.
Good.
I haven't heard. I did hear an engine earlier, but I assumed that was you.
Yes, we had to actually make a supply run for a moment, but we came back. Tried to be as quiet as possible. Sorry we're not successful at that.
Not your fault. It's living out here. It's so quiet all the time. You hear a pin drop.
I imagine so, yes. I am looking around. I am glad that we were able to clean up the mess from tending to your son's injury quickly. That top was a good idea.
Well, not the first injury we've had. First time we've had a good Medicaid to help, though.
I'm happy that I was here to assist. From the looks of it, it might have gotten a lot worse if I hadn't been.
We are very grateful for your help. It was quite nasty.
Indeed. But, do you mind if, just for a moment, we don't need to wake anyone, but do you mind if we just check in on them for just a moment?
Sure. He looks a little uncertainly for a moment, looking you up and down. Gets to open his mouth, then pauses, thinks better of it, closes his mouth, and nods and gestures for you to follow as he stands up and heads towards the left-hand door. This one.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, she'll take as ginger of steps as she's able to with the power armor.
Yeah, he opens the door quietly, steps in, and gestures at the corner of a large room. You can see a couch, a couple of comfortable chairs, but the back of the room has a pair of cots side by side. But only one person is in them, and as he gestures, he frowns a little. Says very quietly, "Where's Lucas? Damned boy hasn't snuck out again."
Does he?
And as he turns to you, looking a little worried, you hear a huff from the end of the room, and some blankets are thrown back, and the sister Jessa sits up and says, "I fucking knew it, bloody idiot. Sorry, he wanted to work on the truck. I told him not to."
Does he? You said again. Is this something he does quite often?
He can't stop thinking about a problem, and then he just has to go and deal with it, otherwise he's up all night.
This has been something usual, or was this something more recent?
Well, normally we're not under curfew or nothing,
Of course.
so it's not a big deal, but we were grounded plenty of times, and he still fucked off to go and play with the engines and shit. Franklin chuckles and nods. Yes, Lucas never was one to listen to others' ideas.
Children, though. They will do as they will do.
I'm terribly sorry if he's caused you any problems.
No, we'll keep an eye out for him, and we'll bring him back as soon as we're able to.
Would be most grateful. Thank you, sister.
Of course. Well, since I apologize, out of character. What was her name again? I know I learned it before.
Jessa.
Jessa, thank you. I know you said it a second ago, and just yay ADD brain.
Yeah, no worries.
But Inawalia says, Jessa, since you are up, do you mind if I ask you? I've just been a little curious. I'm sure. I don't know how much you or your family may know of how the sororitas handle their recruitment, but it doesn't leave much chance for sibling relationships. I was curious about your own, if I may just ask just a couple of questions.
She looks a little confused, but she pushes herself to her feet and wanders over and says, yeah, sure. Let's have a chat in the dining room. Don't want to wake anyone up.
Of course. We should finish just checking up, making sure everyone is where they should be and all right.
She nods. All right, I'll wait here.
I appreciate that.
She nods, and you can see her go and take a seat at the rough-hewn table. Kicks her feet up.
And yeah, we'll go. Still trying to be quiet, but go with the father to check on the two kids.
Franklin nods, and as he walks into the darkened sitting room, he picks up a small lamp, turns a little knob on it. You hear a small hiss. He pushes a button. There's a click and another small whoosh as a little gas lantern lights. And he cracks the door open, holding the light up. And you can see in the gap of illuminated space cast over a small, rough-hewn double bed with a pair of small figures sleeping soundly within.
Yep. Well, he just peeks in for a moment, nods, and steps back. Says, "Everything looks good."
He nods, closes the door. Says, yes, again, my apologies for Lucas. He loses track of what's going on around him.
Oh no, don't trouble yourself about it. As I said, we'll keep an eye out for him, and we'll try to return him in one piece as soon as we're able to find him.
He nods. Thank you, sister. My wife is through the other door. And he leads you back into the dining room and to the second door in the back wall, and again gently cracks it open, and you can see the figure of a woman tossing and turning in the bed.
And there, illuminated in the light, is as her spine grows spines.
Head detaches, grows a little leg from the floor.
Yeah.
No
All right,
comment.
well, time to burn the
No,
village down.
It's as you turn around and just above the door frame.
Yeah.
But no, all seems well.
Okay. Then yeah, she nods again and steps back. Says, "Very good. I don't see any reason to need to disturb any of them."
He nods, closes the door, then turns to his daughter and says, do you mind if I stay with Jessa?
No, please, by all means.
Thank you. He places the lamp on the table. Can I offer you a drink, sister?
If you have some tea, I would not say no.
Certainly. And he begins to bustle about the little kitchen unit off to one side.
By the way, were you the one who carved all the furniture here?
Yes, I'm not the best. It's a hobby more than anything, but getting good furniture out here is darnly expensive.
Oh, I imagine so. No, I actually wanted to compliment you. This is very sturdy, and it's not bad, all things considered.
You see, Jessa? None of that style or artistry finagling. A good solid chair does its job. Jessica rolls her eyes. Wow. He says this every time to you.
I'll be right back. Just one moment. Sorry. It'll be just a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I'm back.
How dare.
I
That
tried to
was
make it
all
as quick as
the
I could. I'm
entire-
sorry. I'm sorry,
Not
Inquisitor.
fast enough.
I'm sorry,
The entire
Inquisitor.
Storyline.
And where is your primer?
It's right here, Inquisitor.
You didn't have it out fast enough.
Oh.
Yeah, gonna
Do
have to
I
chop
see?
to teach you a lesson. Then demand you retrieve your primer then.
But yeah, Noelia will sit down and she'll say to Jessa, "Tell me a bit about you and Lucas as kids."
She looks a little confusedly at her father, then shrugs, says, well, always grease monkeys growing up. Me and Lucas. Loved engines, loved the noise, the smell, it was all great. We grew up with them, really. It's why we run the garage now. Old man Jacobs, he died, 5, 6 years ago?
Was he the one who
Someone
who ran the garage?
Yeah, before me and Lucas took over. He taught us most of what we know, but we learnt a few things ourselves.
Oh, I'm sure. Out here, I imagine it's difficult to get a mechanicus to visit when you need one.
I've never seen one before you guys turned up, honestly.
I'm not surprised by that.
Franklin nods and says, yes, last Mechanicus member we had through here was 3 years ago on a tour with a larger convoy. They were doing some work with the people, assisting where they could. It was very beautiful. Lovely assembly.
Sounds very good of them. But no, please, tell me more. Was there anything that you and Lucas focused on for the engines? Anything that, I don't know, you were specifically drawn to?
Well, see, I've always been a fan of tuning efficiency, because I figure doesn't matter if the parts are shite. As long as you can tune them to work right, you can get the best out of the lot of them. But Lucas, he insists newest bits, shiniest bits, strongest bits, biggest bits. Always the parts, never the whole. I think he's a bit short-sighted there.
Something to be said for both methods, I would imagine. Make sure you keep up to date, but also you don't want to have to be replacing parts every year.
Yeah, well, we couldn't do that even if we wanted to.
Oh, yes. Was there anything that, besides the engines, that you two enjoyed doing? Any games that you used to play?
Lucas loves skipping rocks, but I don't know, I can't get the wrist thing right. Plus, the reservoir's dried up quite a bit since we were kids.
Would is the reservoir just the water that's between the garage and the Vox radio building?
Yeah, when we was kids, that stretched up north, like, mile or two.
Ah. It has gone down a bit then, hasn't it?
Franklin nods as he pours hot water into a few cups. Yes, we've been running out of reservoir supplies for a while now. We've still got the aquifer, but that'll run out soon in its own time.
Hopefully that doesn't mean that the village itself will have to be abandoned. Hopefully they can maybe bring more water in, or siphon it from elsewhere.
Yessa slaps her knee. If only that were the case. We get a supply route through every year or so, but since the war started, that hasn't come at all.
Oh, I'm sure. Quote unquote more important needs.
Plus, front line's been waving back and forth. We've been on both sides since we've been here the last 2 years.
I'm sure. I'm glad that your village has escaped any major harm from it.
It's too small to worry about. That's what Atticus thinks.
Yes, I imagine so. Which, while I'm sure it might be a little lonely at times in this kind of a circumstance, that is an advantage. I have seen some destruction recently that, yes, I'm glad that hasn't happened here.
And we will pause there for now, for our break. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
Real quick, Torpin chat, when I ask Lessa about the games, oh yeah, we used to play this game called Base of Ball.
Yes,
Fuck.
indeed.
Uh,
A great memory. I still remember how no one let me finish explaining the game.
I
sorry, it
still,
didn't make sense.
I'm so sad I didn't get that highlighted. I kept thinking about it and then forgot every time I went to go do it. Every time.
Amusing as it was, I don't think we needed an entire rendition of the rules of baseball.
No, but that scene was really good.
I'm gonna take off. We'll be back in 30.
Yeah, I'll be back as well.
Same.
Alright.
I could have done it though.
I think I might
You could have, I'm sure.
I might put on some music on a low volume if most people are going to be AFK for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do the whole time.
that moment when I just want to put on Tom Cardy music. Do either of you know Tom Cardy?
No.
Not really.
You might know Hugh, I sent some of his stuff to you. The one what was it? The You're a Cunt song.
yeah.
Yeah. As well as, as Marvellia says in chat, the Have You Checked Your Butthole song.
Oh no.
He's
I'm gonna
so
post
good.
I'm gonna post in chat a song from a band I started listening to recently.
Okay.
It's
You know
cool.
what?
It's cool stuff.
I'm gonna put on Starbomb music since I know that the first album Danny and Ego Raptor did give permission to pretty much everybody to just use that on their streams. Put that at a low volume.
Fine.
What's that?
Danny Sexbang and
Oh, yeah.
Ego Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Danny Sexbang is great.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he is a personality and a fucking half.
Ninja
I like
Sex
his
Parties. Yeah,
I do
Ninja Sex
love
Party is
songs.
amazing.
I love the animations they do to go along with them.
Yes. Dinosaur laser fight was fucking awesome.
I love the I can't remember what it's called, but the one about going on a date with a girl. Like, let's kill 6 guys tonight.
But yeah, anyway.
Or the house party.
Yeah.
always
Oh, the house party was
Just broken
great.
up by the murderous pandas.
Yes, it was so good. I do love that they'll start off with a theme and then like halfway through just shit goes wrong and it
Derail it
just keeps
entirely.
going wrong.
Yeah. Release the
I w-
Crack is also fun.
Yes.
I will admit, I unironically have Cool Patrol in my main Spotify playlist.
Hey, Cool Patrol is a good one. I think my favorite out of all of them though is First Date. Is either 6969 or First Date. First Date being the one where they where Danny's constantly taking the woman to commit crimes, and it ends with like
Yeah.
murdering 20 dudes. Fuck it, let's kill 9 guys tonight.
Yeah, but they get to 9, they get to 8, and then they're like, fuck it, we'll go with 8.
Yeah.
When Ninja Brian already has the dude in a headlock. It's good fun. People who haven't seen it, go watch it. It's very
Yeah.
entertaining.
It's very good.
If you like music and you like comedy, you've got both at once.
Yeah. I will be back.
So, comedy music is a big favorite of mine. Have you heard of the Axis of Awesome, Mason?
Well, sorry, what?
Have you heard of the Axis of Awesome?
No.
They are an Australian comedy band. And, yeah, they're pretty good fun. But my favorite song they do is the 4-chord song. And they just roll through every single popular song that's been in the top chart since, like, the 80s, doing their choruses, because it's all the same 4 chords.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And,
That
like,
reminds me. Ooh, good.
it hits the perfect level of nostalgia, because it's all the best bits of the songs that you remember of them. And then you go back to listen to the songs, and it's like, okay, yeah, alright, there's the bit I remember, okay, yeah, there it is again.
I was gonna say that reminds me of there's a stand-up comic guy who usually does music with his things, and there was one bit he was doing where he's talking about whatever, it's like canon, it's called, the song. It's like a constantly played like symphony thing. It's everywhere, and he points out that the tune
Oh,
appears.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Yes, Alex has shown me that one.
yeah,
The Taco Bell rant. That is good. That is the same 4 chords.
yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
No, it's the exact same chords that every single pop song has been using. Like, Taco Bell fucking got his hands on it ages ago, and he fucking stole it. And there's a reason it works. So, the way you distinguish sounds is that inside your ear, you have an array of tiny hairs.
Josh
And
also
they're
calls
different
it ringing.
thicknesses. And they resonate with different sound frequencies. 4-chord songs, those 4 chords just so happen to resonate each of the different 4 main kinds of distinguishing hairs. I don't know if it's 4 specifically, but it hits the majority of them in a way that resonates well versus discordant chords, which cause discordant vibrations in certain overlapping frequencies. So it's purely a biological reaction. It sounds good because it resonates well within our ears. No other reason.
Dang. I think this is why I think a lot of what I listen to I like, because I really like the vocalists, and I only notice the instruments later when I'm focusing on it. And sometimes I notice like more and more as I listen to a song over and over again. Because like I've heard pop songs, and usually what ends up happening is I'm like, ew, I don't like this person's voice, and then I just completely go away from it.
There's a lot of fun shit out there.
Yeah. I remember the band that I posted in chat. I used to have a one song by them that I used to listen to that popped up in like a weekly Discovery thing. And I was like, that was cool, and I forgot about them. But then I was watching a meme compilation, and there was this one where something happens, doesn't matter, but the music in it, I thought it was by this band. It was some kind of cover of "In the Army Now," but with Russian vocals and some kind of like. It sounded way happier than how the normal song does. It was kind of funny. So I went on a fucking hunting spree. I immediately thought it was this band, so I went and I started looking at their music to try and see if I could find the tune, and I didn't. But I found a bunch of other songs from them that I really like. that are pretty chill. I can see if I can find that. I'll go find the In the Army Now thing, because I did actually find the song, but it wasn't by them. The only thing I could find was a meme video that had the whole song in it.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Kind of pissed me off, because I figured, at least the video would credit, like, wherever they got the music from. But whatever. I'll post it in chat. At least it's funny enough.
Age verification. Fuck off, Google.
Bruh.
Hello, Mega Man and Mrs. Mega Man. Welcome to Couples Therapy. I'm Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily? You're a therapist now, but you're evil and bent on world domination.
Not anymore. Those days are behind me. Don't question it. Shut up. Just tell me the problem over this hot beat.
Okay. Well, you see, Doc, I got a pretty nice life. I make a house with 2 kids and a hot mega wife. But I got a little problem with my android bride. When it comes to making love, she's never satisfied.
We've been fucking for decades. Sex has gotten routine. We gotta spice that shit up. I'm not a total machine. I'm sick of all the romance and the cuddles and the love. It's time to get dirty and do all the weird stuff.
But she says the same thing like a tape recorder.
Quiet! The doctor is talking. There must be order! Sorry. I'm not evil anymore.
What's that instrument they play? Balalaikas. I really like the sound of balalaikas. That's what I'm discovering lately.
Is that what you want, hun? A robot master?
Get out and do it, you stupid bastard! Your marriage will be healthy like pure spring water. Now leave my office before you are slaughtered!
Fight'll kick ass if it saves my marriage for the satisfaction of my lady's undercarriage. First I'll take a fireman, not much of a test. Oh, your weakness is ice? I would've never fucking guessed. Now, Iceman is here, this shouldn't take up too much time. Oh, is your weakness fire? You just blew my fucking mind. I cut, man, and he's gonna need stitches. Bombing E like man, just went down like little bitch. Wait, you douchebag, I'm gonna end your life. I am Mega Man Zero, and I'm here to blow your wife. I bring sex moves from the future, and my skills are vast.
Like my super double ultra mega nutbuster cum blast.
And yes, Marvel, that is exactly the one we were talking about, the Pachelbel Cannon.
Yeah.
Very amusing. I'm a fan. Though, I mean, stand-up comedy gets to be pretty easy, if I'm being honest. Have you seen Jimmy Carr?
I have. I've seen him on panel shows a few times.
Yes. 8 out
he's
of
pretty
10
good.
cats is great fun.
Yeah. One of my favorites, I forget his name, but he's the guy who's in the Are We Baddies skit.
Oh, yeah, Mitchell.
I like
Mitchell and
it.
Webb.
I find him funny.
They've done a comedy duo together. The two of them that were in the Are We Baddies. That's what it's from. It's called a Mitchell and Webb look.
Ah.
And they do a load of skits across loads of different ideas that they have together that they just play out, and the Nazi one is one of them. It's good fun. Very amusing.
Was this
Yeah.
about a Pachelbel cannon?
Oh, we were
Pachelbel's
talking about
Cannon. It's a stand-up comedian song about Pachelbel's Cannon, which is a specific classical piece that has been used to death in just about fucking everything because it uses the same 4 chords that people stumbled across in
Yeah.
rock and pop music.
Yeah.
Has he? That's a shame.
That is a shame. Yeah.
He was getting a little bit weird. He started doing work with a guy called Key and another guy called Peel. They have their own comedy show, Key and Peel. But they
I
are
like the way you
weird
introduced
guys.
that. One guy called Key, one guy called Peel. Oh, of Key and Peel.
Yeah, but yeah, they've always seemed a little weird to me. Like they step on some dodgy territory.
I think that's mostly cultural differences there, but yeah. Q,
I mean, it's a cultural difference within this country. Like,
yeah.
British
Yeah.
comedy is a fiercely debated subject across this country for no apparent reason.
I'll tell you something on British comedy, at least about Jimmy Carr. Well, I remember. I really like it every time someone makes fun of him for the tax evasion thing. Because I don't know, I guess part of me,
Jimmy
I
Carr?
find it, yeah, Jimmy Carr evaded tax, and people make fun of him for it. It appears, and it's
I mean,
like
I'm
I
not
laugh every.
surprised he evaded taxes.
I laugh because on the one hand, usually it's actually pretty fucking funny what they're saying, and on the other, the whole situation's funny. It's like you're roasting him for evading taxes when you should be doing something. It's like it's almost like its own comedy skit in real life, and it's like, how can I not laugh at that? It's like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean he evaded taxes and all you're doing is joking about him on a fucking TV show?
Absolutely, Marvellius. Key and Peele do some really great, as you say,
Okay,
racism
so-
analysis.
So, technically speaking, he's not actually committing legal tax evasion. He is legally sequestering money in ways that make it so that he isn't taxed on it. Dodgy as fuck.
Oh, so he just does
But
he just does the
in a
corporation
capitali-
thing.
Yeah, in a capitalist world, that's pretty much the standard.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I still
I-
tax evasion. I don't
yeah,
care what you
I
say.
think tax haven should be shut down, but that's a matter that the government needs to deal with because everyone in the fucking Tory party and most of the Labour and Lib Dem parties own property or finance deals or companies that have shitloads of money in those same tax havens, and the little
Yeah.
bastards won't shut them down.
Yeah, no, the tax havens absolutely need to be shut
I
down.
mean, I don't want to be one of those assholes who justifies bad behavior by saying it's art. But I can fully believe that Jimmy Carr thinks he is making a big statement about tax evasion by publicizing the fact that he's doing it in ways that the government are also using. I don't necessarily agree if that's working, but I find it funny nonetheless.
I don't know. At least people roast him about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
roasting is a British tradition. If you like somebody, you roast them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I for one absolutely love that tradition. That's what me and most of my friends do. Heckle each other all the fucking time.
It's why these comedy panel shows exist, because we love fucking watching these guys heckle each other, and they're all quite clever and witty in their own ways.
There's a guy. What's his name? This is a Scottish guy who I think is really fucking funny. My French, Frankie something.
Oh, Frankie Bourne. Yeah.
Frankie boy, yeah. I find him funny. He's good. There's this old guy too that's kind of funny. He's just dumb shit all the time.
At
No,
this
it's
point,
like
that kind of defines all of them, but I
It's-
think I know
it's-
who you mean.
it's a
He's
specific
balding,
one.
has ginger hair, talks shit all the time.
I don't know, because he looks like a grandpa, like he's about to be a grandpa, or he is one that just like aged kind of well.
I don't know. Out of all the British comedians, I think my favorite is John Oliver. I fucking love the ways he will use his show to highlight so many different issues, such as the time in order to highlight the issue of televangelists, he fucking made a church and started doing the exact same thing to highlight how idiotic it was.
Yeah, he's done it again with health share schemes.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is health share?
So in southern states and some northern states, there has become this rising phenomena of sort of do your own health care.
Oh,
So it's where a group
Mhm.
agrees to hold funds for a community and then dole it out when people need it during a healthcare crisis. But they dodge all of the loopholes that allow them to legally declare themselves as anything other than an insurance company, because they're not an insurance company, they claim. so it means they don't have to have any of the restrictions insurance companies have, which means they deny just about everyone.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful.
I am also just very happy as well that in everything and continuing on, John Oliver himself has not turned out to be a turf. So fucking happy of that.
Could I ask
He
what that
seems
term
pretty accepting
means?
of a lot of things.
The term
I've never
TERF
heard that one.
The term TERF is trans exclusionary radical feminist. It's a term that was coined by TERFs originally. It's basically people who consider themselves to be feminists or radical feminists, and indeed may have some left-wing views and even some feminist views, but all of that gets fucking dropped in a moment if a trans person gets brought up. And they absolutely deny trans identities and have gotten to the point of, like, just straight up going right back to the same things that feminists fought against for fucking centuries. And all simply because, hey, trans people exist and we don't like it.
Bruh.
And going back briefly to the chat, Marvel, yes, you can quite easily evade taxes in the UK. They don't actually check most of the shit that you claim. They just take it on faith. But if it does somehow come to their attention that you have not been truthful about your tax returns, the fraud squad has weirdly broad and expansive powers to literally break into your house at any point and take anything they feel like to pay it off.
Well then.
So most of us don't risk it. Because
Honestly, in
the
a
fraud
way-
squad is the only government office that is legally allowed to enter your house without a warrant.
Can't the prime minister's guard kind of do that too? Do they have like weirdly broad powers?
I mean, the Patriot Act gave a lot of American officers
No.
unnaturally broad powers.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean America. I meant in the UK, the guys who protect the prime minister.
Oh, it's sort of.
I heard something about that at one point.
Under specific circumstances, they can do a very wide range of things that seem a little unreasonable, from like confiscating entire properties for the purposes of operations and security, to like freezing entire bank accounts for whole companies. But there's a whole lot of red tape they have to go and unpack after they do that it doesn't happen very often. I hope. It might happen more often than we know, and it's just being covered up. That would be probably quite likely given our current government.
Well then.
But the Queen's Guard
Thank you,
also
Marcos. I will look at
have the power to shoot anyone who comes close to the gates on sight if they feel like it. Like, there's nothing stopping them.
What the fuck?
It's considered that anyone who ignores their first warning is effectively signing a waiver by declaring that they may be an attacker, and they don't have the response. Like, the police will get there within 5 fucking minutes flat every time. But that's not considered good enough if there is a terrorist attacker approaching the gates when the Queen or another royal is leaving or entering. So they've been given the power to shoot on sight if they deem it necessary. That being said, again, there's a fuckload of penalties for every single thing that a Queen's Guard does that they're not supposed to do. Their officers will come back, review security footage of them for the entire day. Every movement is penalized. And every action is penalized more. So if they so much as scratch their nose, that's a demerit.
Fuck.
So yeah, they're really incentivized to not abuse their power. They are told first to yell, "Step away from the Queen's Guard or the Queen's Gate," and if they don't respond, then bang. And it scares the crap out of people because those guns are loaded and they point it straight at you and yell as loud as they can.
Yeah, I'd be fucking scared, dude. God damn.
Yeah, all the shit you see in movies of people fucking with the Queen's Guard, that doesn't happen. They will obliterate you. If you touch them, they are fully within their rights to beat the crap out of you.
The fuck?
So please don't do it. If you do visit London, leave the Queen's Guard alone. They have a
Yeah.
really hard job and they're very angry.
Yeah, don't fuck with them. They will put up with a lot too. Like, they have a very hard job, but there is a lot that they will put up with before they and then they'll have their fun with it too. I've
Marvel,
seen
the monarchy is entirely useless, and if they hadn't used taxpayer money to repair Buckingham Palace, I would have said they're fine and harmless, but I agree at this point. They're a leech on society and it's a problem.
Yeah, agreed. And I love the videos of people going just a little too far over the line in messing with the palace guard. And all the palace guard has to do is turn and yell at them for a second and just be like, "Step off!" And everybody just shrieks and backs up.
Yep.
It's so
They
good.
are the best of the best. We rotate out people from the SAS, the SBG, the Grenadier Guards, the Black Watch. Our best soldiers have to earn their way into being a Queen's Guard, and if they get a certain number of demerits on any day, immediately ejected.
What are those
There
other
have
three
been-
things that aren't the
there-
SAS?
The SBG is the Special Boat Group, which is a stupid name. I agree.
Special
But
boat group.
it's kind of like our version of the Navy SEALs.
Uh-huh.
They are primarily focused on water-based assaults. You barely ever hear about them because they mainly do work in like the shittier areas of like Somalia, the China Sea, where like there's very little support and very little like legal structure to fall back on, so they don't get a whole lot of publicity. But they are, in theory, just as well trained as the SAS. And the Grenadier Guard are like it's a pseudo-ceremonial regiment, but they take the best that the army has. They train them, they put them on parade. It's a big honor. And then the Black Watch are Scotland's group of crazy, murderous lunatics that we can barely really control, but they have a reputation for being the most undyingly loyal lunatics the British Army has ever had.
What the fuck? Wait.
The Black Guard were one of the commando regiments during the First World War that we stuffed into plywood gliders and threw over the front lines on a one-way suicide trip, and they volunteered.
If I
take it they made it back?
Many of them did, surprisingly.
was
Surprising, quite a lot of the brass, actually. Many of them survived. Many of them
out
didn't.
of
I'm just gonna
curiosity-
pre-warn you. The thunder is mad. Currently.
The storms
Might
come down your way?
out of
Oh Lord, she coming.
Out of curiosity, in World War I and II, there was a dude by the name of Churchill, not Winston Churchill, but Mad Churchill, dude that
think
did
his
some of the
name's
craziest shit. He was the last dude to use a sword in an armed conflict.
Yes. Had a very varied career.
Was he
Wait.
one of those dudes?
Was he a blackguard?
I wonder.
Who's the guy you were talking about? Who the officer guy who was grenading
Yes,
fucking
Marvellius.
tanks?
Yeah.
Update, my power just flickered.
That
Okay.
was Major Frost, who was a major in the commandos
Dude, I loved that story. That's
during World War II.
And yes,
What I'm
Marvellius.
hearing is an ancestor of yours.
Maybe? I don't know. That side of my family doesn't have very good records.
And yes, Marvellius. Churchill was the one who played bagpipes on the way to war. He played them on the beaches, and yes, he had confirmed kills using a longbow in World War II. The best part is
Fucking icon.
the best part, he had confirmed kills with a longbow while riding a fucking motorcycle into combat.
Okay,
If I'm
so
He
this
was
is
a
just
madman.
If I'm
So
remembering
this-
right, he repeatedly was sent into like scouting missions into forested areas, would disappear for weeks at a time, and come back with like the trophies and confirmed kills of like a dozen enemy troops.
One time I can remember he was, I think, surrounded by Nazi soldiers that were all digging in, and so he went over to the trenches, had his sword out, started yelling at them to surrender. They all surrendered. He marched them over to the next trench, pretty much gathered everyone up in the area, not because he wanted to take all of those prisoners, but because he didn't want the first set of prisoners to be lonely on the way back. And then he marched
Not
he marched all of those people at sword point back to the front lines and turned them in.
Nice. The only thing that I kind of remember that's cool word guy was what was his name? How'd it go? Pekka Magaba, I think that's how you say his name. He was a Native American fella who went out to World War One, and basically his thing was that he was a marksman, scout guy, but he had this habit of sneaking into German trenches and stealing their shit and coming back with no one knowing.
Nice.
Is fucking interesting. There's a song about him. Sabaton does a song about him.
Ooh, I'll have to go
It's,
actually look at that.
Ghost in
One
the
of the
Trenches,
things-
it's called.
One of the things I've always found interesting about World War One history is that a lot of American troops chose to come to England before America officially joined the war, against orders, to help in the fight. They did that in World War II as well, for the record. Several pilots just flat out decided, you know what, I'm going to fly to England and help. But
Nice.
during World War One, when the Americans finally did join, a lot of their troops weren't very well trained. One group of soldiers was given to the French because the Americans considered them useless, and they were fucking amazing. The Harlem Hellfighters, the first all-colored American regiment, and they were insanely dangerous fighters because they had fuck all to lose at that point.
They were cool. I forget, was it them or the Tuskegee Airmen that had the bad stuff happen to him afterwards? Also, Avery, I know those ones. They have a song about them too.
Oh yeah, Marvelous. Actually, I saw another YouTuber play that demo. It looks really cool. It's a horror survival game based in the World War One trenches, called Conscript, and it's on Steam right now, and they have a demo out of it. It looks really cool.
Interesting.
Oh, for a second I thought that was the dinosaur one.
No. That's
ancient.
That's a different one. That's a different one. No, there's one that is no longer available on Steam, and I'm so upset because the time I was going
was
to
it?
get it. It was a Call of Cthulhu game based in World War One, and I don't remember what it's called now. But its page is still there, but you can't purchase it. It's actually got like really low reviews, but I still wanted to play it so bad.
Stygian.
Say what?
I've recently wrapped.
Yes.
Is that
I've recent-
Stygian?
Sorry. No, Stygian Reign of the Old Ones is not based in World War One.
Fair.
Yeah.
There's a cat
Which
here.
human? Pet tax.
Kitty!
Baby!
Oh, they're looking at the camera.
Aww.
Kitty!
I'm gonna drive up there and steal your cat.
Bring it on. Do you
Fight
even
you
have
for
a
that.
driver's license?
Motherfucker, I own my own car.
Do you own it or are you still paying for it?
I'm still paying for it, but I could pay it off now. I'm just lazy.
Honestly.
Well, get dabbed on because I don't
You
pay for my
are,
car
right
because
of
my grandpa bought it for me.
Well, that's nice.
I'm so sorry that I'm putting off paying the last $6,000 that I could pay already because I prefer to buy coffee for myself once a month.
Alex is going to have a glowing credit rating You're gonna go to a bank for a loan, and they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Look, I got a credit card.
Fuck
so
you, I'll buy my house first.
I gotta. Go ahead. Fuck, dude. Good luck. The corps are buying them all up. You gotta
It's
act
okay.
fast.
It's okay. I'll let you rent from me.
The corporations and Airbnb assholes are buying them all up.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay.
Airbnb is great.
Over here, it's
so-
fucking pensioner couples who buy a summer home and then rent it out because they never go there. And then they decide, oh, this is surprisingly lucrative, so they go and buy more fucking old houses that are run down in need of repair. They don't do anything to them, and they just rent them out.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
the
my.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
Okay.
I was just saying, my city is suffering from real estate investors who buy up properties as tax shelters. And it's
Airbnb.
literally the house that I'm living in now was recently taken over by new real estate investors who made an LLC out of it because they just want to be able to launder money.
And
They made an LLC out of your house?
Yep.
wow.
How could they do that? What?
So it's just a subsidiary of the company. It was previously owned by an individual who sold
Oh.
it to this company who made an LLC out of it so that they could use it to launder money.
Gross.
And Airbnb can be very useful, but they are actually, they are making the housing market worse, and they are actually destroying neighborhoods across the country. They're very.
Can I tell you a horror story that's vaguely attached to Airbnb?
I'm just gonna finish the thought real quick. I just had like one sentence. They're actually big on helping the gentrification of neighborhoods.
Oh,
But yeah.
great.
Interesting. So, y'all know about my weird swing shit, where I go out to the convention once a year.
Yes.
Obviously not this year. That would be done. They are having it this year. For the end of this year. It's fully vaccinated event, which is super cool, but I'm not going because I choose life, even though apparently life did not choose me, clearly. But the last time I went, there was this lady that got allowed to come in because apparently she was technically a club member, even though she wasn't a student. And it's supposed to be a students only, or maybe she took one class. I don't know. We had never seen this woman before in our life. And when we go with this group, they all rent the same rooms in the hotel that the convention's at. Well, this lady apparently has a room that she uses for an Airbnb. And our first introduction to this woman, who none of us knew, including the officers who I was sharing the room with, because I was in a room with like 5 other girls, and we're all just, that was our spot. The guy's got 2 rooms. Made me pissed. But, first thing we know when she's walking in there, or we're walking in rather, is she's just on the phone yelling at her fucking homeowners association, who already told her that she's not allowed by her contract with the whatever with that to do the Airbnb thing. And so she expected us to help her fix her Airbnb thing that she wasn't allowed to have, that the person brought a dog to, even though they weren't supposed to bring a dog, and they're signed up for the Airbnb thing. It was a whole thing. This lady also did not go to any of the swing events. She spent the entire time just traipsing around the city, finding, garage sales, seeing something that was stupidly cheap, buying up 9 of them, and bringing them back to the hotel and trying to give them to us. She tried to give us all a set of, super shitty kitchen knives.
What?
There was a bag of stuff that she left when she left that we had to clean up. It was an interesting experience.
What?
It was an experience. I don't know.
I don't get it. That's just, I'm just really confused as to what the fuck this person's motives were.
That was our general thing. I don't like dropping assumptions about people's mental health state, but I'm pretty sure there was something going on. Either in terms of living situation or mental state, probably both, given the interactions we had. I chose to sleep in the guys' room and get groped instead.
Ew.
Ugh.
It was a time. Conventions get weird.
I mean, unless you were
Bruh.
into it, in which case, But
It's one of those that I'm like, I don't hate you. We didn't agree on this, but this is
Ow.
comfy, so I'm not moving.
that's the problem is that you didn't agree on it.
Yeah, I don't talk to that person anymore.
Well, it's a good move.
For a moment.
Then. So, returning to our game, we'll come back to Nuwalia just in case you've got anything you want to finish up.
Yeah, Where did we leave off with them? Was talking about the games that they enjoyed playing. I don't. I know she talked about him enjoying skipping rocks. Nuwalia will say, "What about you? Were there any games that you enjoyed playing?"
Yeah, I liked playing tag, but there's not many kids around here, or at least there weren't many when I was younger.
Of course. Well, thank you for humoring me with this. I know it was late and not exactly the best time to be asking these questions, but unfortunately, I don't think there was another chance to really have the privacy and comfortable setting for it.
She shrugs as her father places down a mug of tea in front of each of you. Says, Lucas woke me up anyway, selfish git.
Yeah, Nuwalia will take the tea and give it a sniff. Is there? Can I make a roll to see if I can tell if there's anything off about this tea?
Sure, give me a Medicaid roll. Why not?
God.
Hey, we don't know what's going on in the town. A little paranoia will go a long way.
There's a little paranoia, and then there's whatever you're doing right now.
If doppelgangers wanted to kill you, they would take the shape of a squad member, probably me, get on your good side, and stab you from behind.
Probably, but they could also just...
They wouldn't try to
bother-
poison you with tea.
No, I was actually thinking they would more attempt to roofie me so they could get me out of the armor.
I mean, they could.
What are
just,
they
like,
gonna have laying around in their kitchen that's gonna roofie you? Please
don't-
explain.
I don't
What's
know.
gonna be in your commoner in the middle of bumfuck nowhere's kitchen
Do you
that
have-
a doppelganger
do you
can
know-
find
Do
and
you
roofie
know
you with?
what kind? Do you know what kind of fluids the aliens might be able to use in order to put their targets to sleep?
Are you telling me they pissed in
No.
your drink?
They might have.
My presumption is that the only part that the drink would be involved in is making you take the helmet off to get the drink, and then they hit you with a rock in the back of your head and you die.
That also
Okay.
yeah, that also could
So,
be.
Like there's
assuming they pissed in
drug
your
step
drink
is
to
unnecessary.
roofie you. Assuming they pissed in their drink to roofie you, are you familiar with doppelganger biology?
There actually
And
Judge
you
us with the
smell
plot line.
doppelganger piss.
there actually would have been a course in the Sister Hospitaller stuff to be able to tell different xenobiology, different poisons, things like that. As well, just basic training to be like, hey, does this smell off to you? Does this
Are doppelgangers
rag smell like chloroform to you?
Are
For
doppelgangers?
commonly known xeno species, yes.
Yeah, for common.
Yeah, I was gonna
So,
say, are doppelgangers like common enough that would even make the cut?
well,
Well,
there's,
depends on
like-
what you're talking about. Gene
I think
stealers,
a
yes.
good, I think a good scale of whether or not this is something that is commonly known in the Imperium is, Kanuda, do you know what this is?
I do not know.
There you go.
That doesn't actually say a whole lot, though. About the main thing I know of is gene stealers, whereas, like...
No, but
I could-
that's about how commonly known this would be.
Okay.
I can think of two things that it could be. One
You or
would make.
Agrotrom?
No, me probably Agrotrom would like unironically know about what I'm talking about, but not enough to like realize, not enough to make the presumption I could be making.
I don't disagree with being like paranoid. I'm just giving you shit because it's
Oh, yeah.
low hanging fruit, and that's
Oh,
how
yeah,
I get
no,
my
of
kicks.
course. Of course, yeah. No.
There's like the what are the thing I was imagining was those humans that were meant to be better than Astartes, but still normal human shaped, but they ended up coming out super warp cursed instead. and then everyone just tossed him to the wayside.
That's not the
you mean
Primaris
the
with the-
alpha, the Aphrail strain clones
Yeah.
I was thinking.
that all had pale white skin and white hair and red eyes.
Yeah,
They were
I
just
thought to
albinos.
myself,
Murderous psychopaths. The idea
What I
was that
think-
they take the genetic material of every great hero in the Imperium's
Yeah.
history and mash it together into a perfect soldier. It did not work.
what I
Here
what I
first, Games
my-
Workshop says albinism causes psychosis.
I don't think that's
I
the
think-
intention.
I
But
think it was more of
but anyway.
mixing together all of those genetics causes albinism and psychosis, which is still iffy.
Albinism is pretty.
Albinism
Well,
is pretty-
there's, if I remember the story right, there's chaos involvement, insurgents corrupting the plan, etc.
Yeah. What I remember is that they were super cursed, and I figured to myself, could I see one of these popping up and like doing something to make it capable of doing shape changing shit? And it's like, to be honest, the tools are there. Unless this is some weird Assassinorum shit, and in which case I would run for the hills
yeah. If
fast
this,
as I could.
if this is
But I don't want
Assassinorum
to know what's
stuff,
happening.
if this is Assassinorum stuff, we're legging it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
like get the
well,
fuck
they are-
out.
Yeah.
The tea is quite fragrant, has a slightly flowery scent to it. You've not smelt this kind of flavor before, but
Very unique flavor.
No,
doesn't have any of the telltale signs that you've been trained to look out for. It doesn't smell like almonds. Doesn't have any bitter hints to it.
I was gonna say I was going to look at the father and say, out of curiosity, did you make this out of the Cardiasis blood plant?
Only the flowers. The leaves and stem are quite toxic.
Ah, yes, I had heard that. It smells quite nice. And she'll take a sip.
The flowers are toxic
Yeah,
too.
the flowers are even more toxic.
There's that slight hint of muddy, dirty water, but the flavor of almost a lilac-y floral taste is fairly strong.
Sounds fucking gross.
Yeah.
Speaking of lilac, I just bought culinary lavender and I'm excited.
To be honest, that reminds me of like my experience with chamomile. Is the smell was like that, but the water was kind of how you described it, but not like intense.
I'm making Earl Grey cupcakes with lavender frosting and I'm excited.
Yeah. Nualia is honestly probably going to like
Does it taste like how it smells?
in one sitting just drink down the cup of tea, let out a contented sigh and set it down and just say, "Oh, I had not realized how much I missed a good cup of tea."
Franklin gives you a broad smile. Says, "Oh, I'm glad I could provide, sister."
It was most good. Well, I think, as I appreciate the tea, but I think it was about time for me to get out of your hair and let you get back to sleep.
Of course.
Yes. Thank you both for your time and for, as I said, humoring me at this moment. As I said, we will see if we can find Lucas. I'll put out a bulletin on that, and as I said, we'll bring him back in one piece as soon as we find him.
He nods again. Thank you, sister. I appreciate your candor in this difficult time.
Not at all. Thank you for being patient with both myself and with us.
Not at all. All in the Emperor's service.
Go with the Emperor's blessing, sir, on you and your family.
And may he guide your path, sister.
She'll stand, give him a small bow, and then head out. Still being nice and quiet so as to not wake people up.
Yeah. You're able to slip out into the bright sunlight.
Yeah, she'll make a show of like getting on the comms, but doesn't actually say anything. The visor's back down, so they can't see anything. But yeah.
Fair. Alright. Flux, you step up to Agrotrom guarding the door.
Excellent. Are you prepared?
Bring it.
Am I?
No, Hugh.
Oh.
He knows I'm gonna be a shit.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So first things first, Flux is going to let them sit for a little while in the empty room. And while they let them sit, they're going to be taking off a lot of the flak armor pieces. The jacket's coming off, as is the armored corset bit that's the top for them, and they're going to just kind of be left in their more looser undergarments and pants with boots. We are going to pack that away and put that with the bag outside, take all weapons off, and also put that in the pack. We're going to also bring in a ration pack. 2, actually,
Alright.
from my bag.
I love this already.
Hi, you brought the psych major that knows way too much about forensic psychology into an interrogation roleplay.
Do it.
Agro, I'm going to need you to watch my items. I'm also going to need you to make sure that no one bothers us. Set your communications to, and I'm going to give a different frequency from what Kanuta and Avery has. If I need you to come get me, I'll call you. When you come in, say that Frempt wants to speak to me. And don't say anything else.
Understandable.
If someone else does call, just call on that same network and I'll decide if I need you to come in or not.
Okay. If something violent happens, do I need to come in and be violent? Or can you handle it yourself?
If something violent happens, I might need you to come in and be violent, but you'll hear it. I have this hardwired into my brain. You'll definitely be able to hear it.
Wonderful. It shall be done.
Excellent. And we'll wait outside for about 10 more minutes before Flux is going to go in. And they will also be taking their data pad with them.
Alright. Data pad under one arm, couple of ration packs under the other.
Mhm.
Step in. You find yourself in a cramped little office. A rough metal desk sitting roughly in the middle. Couple of filing cabinets around it. Some of the drawers hanging open, spilling over papers. There's a wooden chair of not terrible make. Seems to spin. Some casters. Looks very rustic but functional. And of course, the suspect, Lucas, sitting in the chair, his burned leg propped up on the table. As you open the door, he swings his leg off and pulls the chair in towards the desk, straightening up a little.
Now, this desk is situated with the sides closed in on itself?
It's a
Or is there a lip
rectangular
around it? Okay. Is there any way for the chair to be pulled to the side of it so that we're not sitting opposite of each other?
Yes.
Excellent. Flux is going to drag the chair over to sit adjacent.
Yeah, you stride over, and as you reach out and grab the chair, whoa, hey, what are you doing? Pull him around, turn.
Oh, I was
face-
going to move my chair.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Come here, motherfucker.
It'll do
You
something.
sit here now.
Yeah, you're able to move your chair around the side of the desk, push it aside slightly.
Oh my god. That is a way to assert dominance, yes. Not the method we're going, though.
The other way is by aggressively T-posing them into a
If I'm
corner.
honest, if I had seen a motherfucker sitting behind a desk and he's supposed to be incarcerated, yeah, I'd go over, drag him around the front just to prove a point.
Yeah, but that's not how this works, and you know it. And you also lack impulse control.
Just set
Yeah,
up
you're
obscenities
sure.
at them until they admit whatever I need them to admit.
You're able to pull the chair around to base him.
Excuse me while I remember how to breathe. Yeah, Flux will take the ration bars out and put them on the desk, slide one over to him. Sure, this has been a hell of a day, and is going to be pulling out the data pad and pulling up some files on it where he can't see, kind of in their lap, tilted up. And they're not paying any attention to him. They're putting all of their attention on the data pad as they're tapping on it.
He nods slowly as he reaches towards the ration pack and slowly slides it across the desk towards himself. Yeah, you could put it that way. Can I go home anytime soon?
You'll go home when we figure a few things out. I have some questions to ask you, if that's alright.
I guess, yeah. Can't really say no, can I?
Well, you could. It would just be a bit awkward. Of course, you can always not speak to me. At that point, then we have to go off of assumptions and what my commanding officer has us do. And usually, more information makes for a better result.
A little confused at that. I thought you were in charge. You were shouting all the orders.
I'm in charge of the people on the ground. There's a commissar named Fremd. He reports to the higher-up. He's the one that tells me what I have to do. End of the day, he can override me. Make sense?
Commissar's gonna be deciding what happens to me.
Well, hopefully, I get to decide that. However, the less information we have, the less he trusts my judgment. You see where I'm at with that. But
Yeah.
I want to help you, which is why I'm here.
Okay. He looks uncertain as he kind of tears open the top of the ration bar. So he peels the foil back a little. And then does not eat it. Just holds it, watching you.
Right, so you see this augment? And they're going to
Yeah.
point at their eye. This is a recording. And I'm going to turn it off. This conversation is between you and me. I'm going to be taking notes, but there will not be a strict recording of it. And yeah, they will power down the eye.
He gives you a very suspicious look, leaning a little forward. Why are you doing that?
Because I want you to know that whatever we say is between you and me. Unless you'd rather I record it for posterity.
I guess. What do you want to know?
I have a list of questions here. Some from my metagame. Others just to get a full view of what happened. We can start off with some easy. You can tell me if you want to skip a question and we can circle back to it. We'll keep it fairly laid back. Try and make sure that we understand exactly what happened.
Okay, yeah.
Let's start with some easy questions. What is your full name?
Lucas Birch. Dad said didn't need more than 2 names.
And how old are you?
I'm 25. Yeah, 25 this year.
Have to do some math on that one? And they'll give a bit of a grin, looking up from the tablet for the first time. Has my internet gone out? This is unhelpful.
No.
No, you're still good.
I think so. I think.
Is
No, I
it
think
Q's?
Yeah, he's crashed.
Yeah. He's
For once, mine didn't shit itself!
Stuck in a really funny pose, actually. On the
Yeah.
camera.
I was wondering if he was just questioning my life choices.
He's died. I love the way he's got his hands. I don't know why. That's really good.
But, coincidentally, this is also Alex in admin mode, because I pull this shit out on people that get on my bad side as an admin, too.
Hey, whatever
Yeah, this
works.
is why I just fucking comply with everything people tell me, unless I really hate the person, because I always suspect I'm gonna get this shit done to me. So I'm like, all right, nope, not happening. What's up?
So,
Like-
I have done it both aggressively and not aggressively. Like, a lot of the stuff that gets used for shit, like interrogation, can be used for other uses. Like, they're all built on basic psychological principles. So I can equally use it to talk someone out of a panic attack just as much as I can to interrogate someone for their real purposes and coming into a server. It just depends on, like, how well you know what you're doing and how you do it.
Yeah. I
But,
only I have enough information to know when it's happening and to give up immediately. Or
It's a
just
higher level
leave.
of commitment that I cannot commit to. I respect what you're doing, and I'm impressed, but not something that I can personally do.
I'm a manipulative bitch, and nobody ever, like, actually believes me when I say that.
Mm.
And, then people see me mod and they realize.
Mm.
It unfortunately had to be used a fair amount because the servers that I admin in were, very large queer communities, very large mental health communities. I mean, that was the intersection. It's the pagan shit that I used to do. But,
Mhm.
yeah, there was a huge intersection that caused a lot of bigotry to come our way. But, trying to figure out the difference between ignorance and bigotry is a really fun time.
All right. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
So I get bonus dice for this, right?
Yeah. But sorry about that. Discord just exploded for no apparent fucking reason.
Classic.
Well done.
Okay. How much did you hear before I cut out?
Yeah.
Nothing after I asked if he had to do math.
Ah, right. Okay. So
Yeah, it's the first time Flux has looked up from, like, typing on the tablet with a bit of a grin.
yeah, he nods. Says, "Well, we don't really celebrate him. Don't have the food or the water."
That makes a lot of sense out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, everything counts. Can't waste it.
So what is your date of birth then, if we had to do the math?
M42.124.613. Yeah, that should be it.
And, the entire time we're doing this, Flux is developing a baseline. Just figured you are gonna call me to task if I don't declare it ahead of time.
I figured that was what you were doing.
Okay. Some questions for just basic cognitive stuff. Favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. Why blue?
It's the color that the Cardinals wear when they go through the city in their big procession. Looks really expensive. It's all soft and kind of fuzzy. Don't know what you call that though.
Flux will give a bit of a nod and take just a little bit to type that out specifically. Okay, favorite food?
I like the M26 ration packs. They don't taste like something moldy's in your mouth.
Okay. If you could eat anything that you wanted to, what would you try?
He pauses for a moment, kind of sits back a little, genuinely contemplating the question. I guess I kind of always wondered what a habho would taste like, but no one in their right mind would try that.
Have you ever seen one? I've not been on this planet very long. They seem pretty terrifying. We saw one from a distance.
Mum and Dad said they came up here because around the coast was too dangerous. If you weren't in one of the big cities, never seen one myself.
I was surprised that one got so close to the village. It was an interesting experience.
He looks a little confused. There was a habho near the village.
Well, that's why we left.
Is that what that was? How close did it get?
Oh, it was a ways out. We saw it from a very far distance from our servo skulls.
He seems a little visibly relieved, relaxing a little in his chair. Oh. Close
Yeah,
one.
we've got a data array. Our Mechanicus operates it. There's skulls that float around in the sky, and they have recording software. They can zoom in real close, see specifics. We've got them circling around the entire time we've been here.
Right. Okay, I've only seen them a couple of times in the city. You guys are well equipped, aren't you?
We do our best. And Flux is gonna lean in with a bit of a grin. I like my toys.
I can see why. The las guns your guys have. Never seen them before. Not like that.
Yeah, I try and get my hands on whatever interesting mechanical bits I can acquire. It's a bit of a hobby of mine.
I feel the same. The engines outside the truck, that's my work. Bartered with some of the best up in the town.
Really? That was delightful to work on. Bit rough, but with the stuff that you've got out here, really good done. Good work.
He brightens up a little, even gives you a small grin. Yeah, thanks. We worked hard on it, me and Jessa.
Is that why you were out here tonight? You were working on the engine?
Oh, I was working on the truck. Panel work, that sort of thing.
Alright. So is that what you do for fun then? Just the mechanical?
Well, when I've got a problem that needs fixing, it nags at me again and again. Unless I go fix it. Can't sleep right.
That makes a lot of sense. I've had the same happen to me once or twice.
He nods. Yeah, you see, you get it. Jessa keeps getting pissed at me. Says I need to save it for when it's time for working in the day, but he shrugs a little, trails off.
Well, if you like what you do, it's not really work, is it?
Yeah, see, that's what I keep saying.
So, getting down to more specifics of what happened. Tell me exactly what happened starting when we found you.
Well, when you found us before, or when you guys caught me today?
Today.
Well, your corporal, the Mechanicus, told me to sit down and we talk it out after the Sororitas, she shot me in the leg. Gestures at his burnt thigh. The Mechanicus, she asked me a few questions about why I ran, what happened. I told her that I was doing some work. I was getting some of my tools off the shelves, and I turn around and I see me, and he comes at me, grabs me, and pushed me up against the shelves. Some shit fell. Hurt myself a bit, tore my stitches, but I grabbed a screwdriver and jammed it in his neck. I was going to go again, but he fell backwards and I ran.
Flux is gonna nod to themselves and turn their attention back to the data pad for a bit, typing. Also, me gonna start typing. Give me a sec.
I'll be right back.
Alright, so the Sororitas shot you because you were running, correct?
Yeah.
Why did you run when my men came on the scene?
Well, he looked like me, right? What if there's more of them? They could look like anyone. It could be you. He then pauses a moment, frowns, and slides his chair backwards a little.
Flux will give a bit of a grin and raise their hands. I'm not armed. I took off my armor before I came in. You can check me if you want.
I believe you there. I don't know, maybe you're playing a long con.
Like the other did.
He didn't seem to have planned much, but I don't know, maybe the others are smarter?
Well, currently, we only know that there's one. And I don't have reason to believe that there's more. That being said, we are being careful.
It would be reassuring if, you know, I was sure you weren't one of them. He kind of shrugs apologetically.
No, completely understandable. I can imagine that finding out that there's a look-alike of you would have been a terrifying experience, let alone it attacking you.
Yeah, especially since he just fucking loomed out the dark out of fucking nowhere. Is he actually dead?
Yes, our medicated an autopsy.
Guess he won't come back then. That's a good thing.
Now, you said he came up from behind you.
Yeah.
About how far away was it?
2 or 3 feet maybe. He was practically breathing down my neck when I turned around.
Right, if we were to stand up, could you show me?
Yeah, sure.
Just so I can get a visual.
He nods and slowly gets to his feet, wincing a little as he puts weight on his wounded leg. I'd say at about this point, Riven, you've finished mopping up the blood and have strapped up the body. Just about done.
Alright.
Yeah, Flux is just gonna step closer to him, slowly, so they don't startle him. Alright, so if I'm you, and they're gonna turn their back to him, and I'm standing and I'm looking at tools, show me about where you are. And they're gonna look over their shoulder, as the doppelganger.
He nods and gestures. I was about there, and I was getting... He gestures at a red toolbox sitting at the foot of the shelves. I was getting that off the middle shelf. I put it down to go and get something else, and I heard something behind me. Turned around, and he was right there, reaching for me.
So, about how long had you been in the garage before that point, working on the truck?
probably 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm
And
still
Flux
getting
is
the
gonna
tools to start work.
slowly move to their chair again.
As you
It's
guide
so
him
much
in,
easier if I wasn't coughing. Oh my god.
as you guide him back into the small office, you hear the rumble of engines.
Oh, we didn't leave the room.
Oh.
We just stayed in the room, and I
Oh,
walked
yeah.
closer to him so we could
Oh,
role
then,
play out
yeah,
the scenario.
He would have said that he's picked up a red toolbox, put it at his feet, etc. But yeah, all right then. Yep. As he goes to sit down, you hear the rumble of engines outside. While as you are crossing the road towards the garage, you can see coming up the road from the south a pair of large armored vehicles.
Okay. You said coming from the south?
Yep.
I immediately get on comms. Anyone got any better sight on those vehicles coming up? That's...
You hear Packard's voice over the box. Yeah, give me a second. Flux, you hear the sound of grunting and someone scrabbling against stone outside the back door.
Oh my
And while you see Packard poke his head over the lip of the roof of the small office that Flux is currently in, sights his rifle down towards them. Looks like rhinos to me. Don't recognize the markings though.
Wait, hold on. Hugh, rhinos are Space Marine make, aren't they?
Rhinos are used by a number of groups. They're one of the best and most common STC personnel transports available. The Arbites use them, the Sororitas use them, the Space Marines use them.
Okay, but they're not necessarily standard Imperial Guard though.
No, the Guard doesn't usually get rhinos.
Okay.
Can
Then
you describe the markings?
Yeah, the black looks like a mountain, maybe a hammer.
out of curiosity, out of character, I should say that I should recognize that, right? That is that the Inquisitorial thing?
Nope, you don't recognize that.
Okay. Noalia's going to go out on Vox and say, "Nobody make any immediately hostile gestures that might be a shipment we were expecting, though I think they're a little early. But no hostile gestures, but don't be in their line of fire either. I'm going to go
What?
out. I'm going to go out to meet them."
What?
Flux. Permission to take Bulette with me as backup. Bulette and now Aggles with you. Bulette.
Yeah, there's just crickets. Flux is an uncom.
Yeah. If Noalia will wait a
Flux
second.
is on Agral's private com, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. So Noalia
okay.
waits for a second and
So, did you say that on Allcom?
on general comm, but if
Okay,
you're on
If you're listening also to the com for me to call you, you also wouldn't have heard it.
yeah. Because
Okay,
you're
I-
on a different frequency.
You don't have the best kit, unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I didn't realize how the kit works.
Yeah, it's unfortunately one frequency at a time, I'm fairly certain, right, Hugh?
Only the backpack boxes are fancy enough to run 2 frequencies through each ear.
Yeah. So then Noalia waits for a second, and then which squad is Bulette a part of? Is that Lanewald squad or ours? Or
No, that's Squad 1.
okay. Then yeah, Noalia says, "All right, Bulette, you with me?"
One thing that you would know, Riven is my second.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Then yes, in that case, Noalia would have gone. Riven, do you mind if I take
Yep.
Bulette?
By all means.
Thank
Need
you.
anyone else?
I hesitate to bring anyone else, honestly. I don't want to put that many people into a possible line of fire.
Sure. Yeah. No, take the alert.
But we will take the the civilian car.
Yep, Boulert salutes and peels off the guard duty around the garage to join you.
Riven, we will need someone to replace Bulette at her position though.
Yeah.
And then
Hey, Lace, I got a job for you.
and then yeah, Noalia will hop into the car and wait for Bulette, and then drive off and head to meet the rhinos.
All right. Yeah. You head about half a mile or so down the road. The rhinos moving at a fairly sedate pace, very far off their top speed. And as they see you approach, they pull to a halt. And as you draw within earshot and your little jeep pulls up, the top hatch of the front rhino cranks open, and a very short, squat torso pokes their way out with a very bushy white beard. Waves you down.
Yep.
Greetings there!
Yeah, Noalia will wave, and yeah, she'll have stopped the vehicle by that point, and she'll get out and say to Bulette, "Stay here for a moment, but be on guard." But yeah, Noalia will wave and say, "Hello there. You the shipment that we were expecting?"
He frowns a little. I was told you weren't expecting us, but we've got something for you. Oh, but we are taking something with us.
Ah, what is it that you need?
He holds up a hand, disappears back in the hatch, pulls it closed. There's a few moments pause before the back of the Taurox clangs open, and you hear a hubbub of voices, very gruff voices and some very deep voices, as a squat rounds the corner of the Taurox and approaches you.
What?
You can very clearly see an axe on his hip and a bolt gun slung across his back. He wears a fairly heavy quilted gambeson-looking suit of armor, and he very proudly struts up to you and sticks out a hand. Sergeant Iron Founderson, at your service, sister.
Yep, Noalia will take it, give it a firm shake. Sister Noalia of the Order of the Bleeding Rose, at yours, Sergeant.
Hey, I have transfer orders. And he pulls a set of papers out of his jacket, hands them over. And indeed, you can see Tauros Igni transfer papers, stamped with Versailles seal and name, requesting Agrotron be transferred over to them, and a second set assigning you a... give me the name again, Mason.
It's in this sheet. It's Atlas. It's spelled weird. It's in grace is how you would say it.
A Mr., not private or any other rank, Atlas Grayson, to join you.
Ah.
In grace, I'll spell it in chat.
In Grace, sorry.
Ah, so... Ah, I see. So you'll be taking Agril then.
Aye, we're off to chase that beastie you reported in.
God damn it.
This will be the highlight of his day.
happening?
Though it will be sad for us losing him.
You mind if we get to the village and let my boys stretch their legs a bit? We've been cramped in these things for 3 hours now.
Well, to let you know, there is a curfew going on in the village, so...
All the better. My boys are a bit clumsy.
Good, just don't make too much noise, that's all we ask. park a little ways out of the village. We'll treat you a little bit, but just don't make too much noise. Some of the civilians are still sleeping, and we've already had to deal with complaints.
Sleeping. Ah, this damn cycle. I see. Yeah.
Indeed. But yes, come along, we'll lead you back.
He nods, slaps the side of the rhino, climbs back in the rear.
And yeah, Nawalia will get back in and just say to Bulert, it looks like we're getting a different squat. And just drive off with no further context.
Yeah, she looks very confused, but doesn't question it. And yeah, you return to the village without much difficulty. The rhinos pull up about 200 or 300 meters away down the road.
Yeah.
The rears clang open, and you see a collection of squats and ogren clamber out of the backs of each.
Nualia, what the hell was that about?
Riven, it appears that Agril has been called away. Agril has specifically been requested to transfer to another squad to hunt a Habho, and they are giving us a different squad in return.
I didn't know there were more squat.
There are 2 rhinos full of them.
Oh.
But yes,
This is a very weird day.
I think if you don't mind, go and let Flux and Agril know about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll, yeah. Wait, I'm cleaning a body. Actually, Feely, can you go get Aquatron for me? Or go relieve him?
I was gonna say if you're cleaning, if you're still in the garage, I think Agril's just standing right there.
Oh.
I mean, he's close by. I think he's by a
No,
door or behind.
Yeah,
a door.
you're standing by the door in the garage.
Yeah.
You've been watching Riven cleaning up the body.
Yep, that sounds right. So, Agril, I think you've got some friends here?
What?
Hey, Lanewall, can I borrow you real quick?
Sure, Corporal. Be there in a second.
Thanks. Totally forgotten the names of most of the squad.
I'm not.
After
What do
a
you need
little
Lady
while,
Walk to tell me? What?
No, I don't need her to tell you anything. Can you go talk to Nualia? There's something going on. I'm gonna go knock on the door, get Flux out for a second.
Okay. I will tremble, knock on the door. We'll poke us in and say, Flux, Frampt wants to speak with you.
Right. I will be back. And they'll give a just kind of nod to the to Lucas and head out. As soon as the door closes, they're just gonna sigh. What was the point of having a private comms channel? And telling you to communicate with me if you thought something needed my attention before opening the door, if you weren't going to listen.
Well, they didn't tell me what it was they told me to get you. I figured that was better for Visage? I don't
That's
know.
why you had a communications line.
Look, it sounds
I
like
get confused easy.
it sounds like Agrotron is being reassigned, and we're getting someone else. Did you know about this?
What?
Please explain to me why the fuck I would know about this.
Because you're the sergeant?
You're right. Versailles and I just chat over tea every once in a while. I turn on the Vox at 0800, get out the tea, we'll Vox from afar.
Wait, so
That's why I get away with as much shit as I do.
Why didn't you tell us that you had tea? That's kind of like a. Do you have coffee? Like.
You son of a bitch! You've got the recap.
Better than that, I installed a Keurig somewhere on the Torox and you can't find
You
it.
motherfucker!
Now I'm even more confused. I'm trying to figure out who gets confused easier, me or Riven.
This is fine. Agril, until further notice, I would like you to remain here. I will go check and see if everything is in order in terms of being transferred, and if it is, then we'll send you on your way.
Well then, if it is real, then I guess it's been a pleasure serving. You're the he counts on his hands. Third person I've been transferred out of who didn't die before it happened. Congratulations.
I'll consider myself lucky.
You'll be
It's
luckier
been-
if I show up again.
True. Definitely gonna miss your skills. And of course the stories.
He smiles and he pats the X. Everyone misses it in time. Or they start shooting me in the back while I'm leaving, and that tells me that usually they didn't like it.
Don't break that fucking chain blade. You'll find another Mechanicus like Riven.
It'll be fine.
I don't think
I will
there is
take
no
care of it.
Mechanicus like me.
Mm.
Though I don't know if that's a good thing. Just take care of yourself.
Yeah,
What
Flux
I
will
always
just
do.
Flux will without putting their armor on, leave most of their shit there, grab their jacket, because I assume the jacket's what has the like stripey stuff on it. Throw that bitch on and head out. Oh,
Yep.
but because they're paranoid of Frampt, the Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer is just forever tucked in a pocket on their pants.
Riven is
Just gonna
walking
put that
well.
out there.
Wise.
Sorry.
Yeah. As you step out of the garage, you can see Nualia and Boulert standing by the civilian jeep with a squat and a human man. You can also see a familiar commissar approaching from the south through the buildings.
Which familiar commissar?
Trapped.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Mandeville
There's some
came
that are
to kiss a
bad.
new one.
well, okay, here's the thing, is if
It's
the scouts came
Caiaphas
with a
Cain.
commissar...
Sorry, too many commissars.
But, yeah, Flux will head in that direction and, look to see who seems to have rank.
Yeah. On the shoulder of the squat, you can indeed see a Sergeant Stripes. But, Atlas, what do you look like?
I will do the first step. The easy thing is to get the photo for the general appearance, and then I will correct where I must. So, the general things. He's I guess, not like super short guy. He's 5'7", so he's about average.
It's taller than Riven.
Hilarious.
That's so annoying.
Don't worry, he will not abuse that. Anyway.
Don't worry, Flux will.
Amazing. The different things to note specifically from his picture. The clothes are generally correct, although he has certain levels of white and gold added into it because what's up?
People watching the stream can't see the photo.
Well,
I
it
can
still matters because you can see it. I'm not describing it for the people in the chat. I'm sorry.
As well, I can zoom in on your token too.
Yeah, I can slam the token out if I must.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get
sorry.
the art, like, specifically done?
No. That would have taken
How's
too
that?
long. But I
I
found.
think we can get pinged for copyright.
We can. So
I don't
we'll.
think I looked it up on Pinterest and I searched around for the source. It didn't
Pinterest
look like
is shit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I searched it through.
It does. it does have a watermark.
Yeah.
So I will.
so-
So that at least allows us to say that this artwork was done by, looks like,
Maze
Mezamero.
Mero.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
Yeah.
that is
props
the
to that
others-
person. I used that.
Yeah, props to
If
that
I had it,
person.
spec-
That's where it's
Yep.
from. Yeah.
yep.
Please don't.
If it's
Please don't
specifically
hit us.
done, I wouldn't have to change that. Yep. But anyway,
please don't hit me.
yeah. Anyway, the differences in the pictures, there's a little more white and gold compared to the black. He doesn't look so fucking dead in his eyes. He does not look like he doesn't have edge face. Okay.
Aww.
He's got a little bit of like something weird going on with his eyes. Like his face clearly is like, hey, I'm a cool guy, but his eyes are like, huh? I don't get it. It's like it's someone who like doesn't understand the situation, I guess, or doesn't understand what he's looking at, while his face does not portray that.
Okay.
He has shoes. I will note that because you know no shoes picture. He has a thing around his neck, a set of large red beads, with you can tell a little bit of fabric in between to hold them together. And there's something that hangs off the center one, which I think Nawalia would probably recognize that as a Rosarius, the funny armor one.
Oh,
Anyway.
Yeah, the
Yep.
one that's supposed that for the ecclesiarchy can make
Yeah,
them
it's a power
invulnerable. Yeah.
It's a power field,
Yeah.
He carries a really tall staff, which has it's etched, but not ornamented. It's not like colored really crazy, but you can kind of see things that maybe look like they move out of the way for something. And other than that, what else did I need to point out? He looks really young, like no older than like 20 something. And he does have like actual other weapons. He has a last pistol and a knife attached to him somewhere.
Did you send us a squat psyker?
It's not
a
a
human.
squat, he's 5'7".
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
Probably.
send us a psyker?
Psychers usually aren't in the ecclesiarchy.
Usually.
You'll find out when you get to know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, otherwise, yeah, he's kind of looking around, hand on his staff, and other hand, not on his side, but kind of just at his chest, like he's pretty neutral, standing, observing what's going on around, kind of waiting to be addressed or like taken note of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, standing beside him is a squat with sergeant stripes and an incredibly bushy white beard.
Oh, what was?
Yes.
How did the sergeant introduce himself to me again?
Sergeant Iron Founderson.
Thank you, Iron Founderson. Yeah, Nawalia salutes to Flux as they approach and says, "Sergeant Major, if I might introduce you to Sergeant." God damn it, ADHD brain.
Iron Founderson.
Thank you.
'Cause what a fucking name.
Yeah, Sergeant Iron Founderson. I want to say Iron Fist. I'm like, nope, that's not it. Like,
Space Marines.
yeah.
To be fair, to get the reference right, it should be either Constable or Captain Iron Founderson. That's a Terry Pratchett reference.
I should read
That's
some
why I
of
was
this
familiar. God damn
It's
it.
called
They are good
Carrot.
books.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What a name.
But
Who
yeah.
was a dwarf, but was also 6 foot tall.
But yeah,
That sounds about right.
and Nawalia steps out of the way for the two sergeants to introduce themselves.
Yeah, Flux will just give Nualia a bit of a wave as she does the salute thing. Formalities. And they're gonna extend a hand to the squad. Flux.
He gives you a firm shake, giving your hand a firm grip. Hey, Sergeant Iron Founderson, as your sorority said, I've got transfer papers for Agril Trom and this here chappie.
Right, so I hear. If you don't mind.
Yeah, he pulls them out of his jacket, hands them over to you. And indeed, yeah, it is signed by Versailles himself. It appears to have been signed more recently than about a week ago.
Right. Nualia, I'm going to ask you to relieve Agril. Please do not let anyone in or out of that room. Please do not speak to the individual inside of that room. And call me on private channel if anything interesting happens.
Of course, and understood. And yeah,
Thank you. And send Agril our way.
of course. Yep. She heads back in and says, opens the bay door. Agril, you're needed. And
Oh,
heads inside. I'll be taking your post.
okay. Will do.
Oh, and
He gives a salute.
Agril,
Huh?
since this might be, since it does look like you will be transferring out, wanted to say, I will miss your songs.
Oh, everyone will. But you'll hear it again one day over the radios as my blossoming pop star career takes off once this is all said and done.
I'd ask you what a pop star was, but I get the feeling it wouldn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. Music person
I'm
that's famous.
I am going to hold you to hearing your songs again one day. Hopefully we will be able to meet again after this, after all this is over.
Indeed. It would be nice. I usually don't meet people from old squads, but it'd be good to have it happen at least one more time.
Absolutely. Have confirmation that everyone is still alive and well.
Indeed. The only person who I think I could still meet these days is a Skitari gentleman. Everyone else is dead or got stuck somewhere else that no one will ever get to.
Well, you'd better get moving because I think they might be on a time schedule, but you should be happy for this though, Agril. And she leans over and says, "You're going to hunt the Habho."
Yes! The time has come! I will show that beast what for! Don't know the bite of Grimble.
And yeah, with that, she will trade places with Agril.
Mart starts making its way over.
While Nualia is getting Agril, Flux will turn their attention to the newcomer. And your name?
Flex, fuck, I did it backwards.
No, that's my name.
Yeah, no. I was trying to address you by ranking the name, and then my brain flipped the words. Anyway, the guy will he'll bow, hand against staff, hand over heart, and say, Sergeant. No, fuck.
That's
What do I
where
keep
I'm
doing that?
from.
I keep putting voices on. Sergeant Flax. Yes, I am Brother Atlas in Grace of the Cephas sect missionaries. I am a ecclesiastical representative sent to how do they want me to word this? Ensure the spiritual purity of your squad.
Oh, fuck.
And Fanderson nods. Aye, he's your platoon chaplain.
That is my assigned role, yes.
Well, I hope they gave you the reading on our squad.
I have had some documents, and I have seen enough to know that there's maybe one person to worry about, two, but I find it is nothing that the particular methods of my sect can't handle. I believe this will be a mutually beneficial relation.
I certainly hope it is. Look forward to working with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, as a general rule, we do not prefer formality. But if you're going to be formal, last name's Twig. And, yeah, they will wait for Agrotrom after that.
Allison responded, let's say, whatever is most comfortable with you, I see no reason to act in uncomfortable ways. It's counterintuitive.
I would agree.
Nuts.
Ramp strides up behind the two newcomers. Gives you a nod, Flux. Says, greetings, Sergeant. That's the insignia of the 19th Abhuman platoon, yes?
It is indeed. Agril is being transferred out.
Sergeant nods and says, aye. Says the Sergeant Major says, we're going a hunting, and we were told to drop this lad off. Ramp nods and turns to look at the garage. Says, well, here is the man of the hour, as Agrotrom emerges.
Agrotrom sees another squat for probably the first time in forever, and he's like, by the ancestors! There's more of me here? What? They didn't tell me this! He's like, over. You! Is there a brewer in your company?
He looks at you a little confused, turns to Flux, says, what have you done to the lad? Of course there is!
Yes!
Hey, listen, he came. Hey, listen, he came to us like that.
Yeah, we no, I'm not there.
It's been 35 years without a brewer! You don't understand! All I've had to go by is cigars and freaking Amasek!
Hey, well, you were supposed to join our company to begin with. But, someone decided the administrative platoon you were assigned to was going to be an active platoon.
I don't know what half those words mean. I woke up on a Valkyrie shooting a gun. I have no clue what's going on here.
Hey, well, we're a specialist detachment. Squats and Ogren mainly. We go hunting the big things that, no offense, the humans can't handle.
I'm more than happy to let you handle that, my friend. By all means, handle it.
A good fight it'll be too.
Of course, I wanted to go fight it. I had half a mind to do it alone, but
I almost let him.
you should have. But my
I'm
sergeant
supposed to
here-
keep you alive.
I can stay alive. You see how I fight?
Yes, I know Agrotrom can't die. Go prove it. Come back when this is all done.
That's the plan.
Shakes his head. Alone? Lad, that's a death wish for anyone.
No. That's a death wish for anyone but Agrotrom and his trusty weapon, Grimball. Now with
Lad-
added chains.
Lad, there's a time
You're
and a
welcome.
place. Time and a place for violence. And there's a time and a place for... I'm Irish now, apparently.
There's a time and a place for them too.
Yep.
There's a time and a place for strategy and a little cooperation. You'll learn.
Is hopefully when I'm not drunk. I was come for a nice drink, I say.
Hey, I fight better when I'm drunk.
You know it too. Yes. Oh. Finally.
Listen, you best take care of him. He'll be missed.
Oh, no worries there. We look after each other. Squad's a family, aye.
That's true. That's true. You... Do you know anyone in the Engineers Guild?
Aye, well,
He's already asking for fucking squad power armor.
Golderson's father, he was an engineer.
Tell him his father is a prick. Anyway. He sounds like a good man himself, though.
Fred's just, you can tell him yourself. He'll have something to say in return, I'm sure.
Oh, it'll be great. We'll fight it out. I'll probably have to get teeth replaced. We'll be best friends. It'll be great.
The spirit. Sorry to be dragging away valuable assets, Sergeant, but orders be orders.
Like I said, definitely be missed. Better try and find us sometime if we're ever in the same area.
Oh, you know I will.
well. Sergeant notes. I'll give you a moment. You can see the camps. Blindingly obvious. And good luck to you, Sergeant Major. Sister.
Sister's
Enjoy
not
your
there.
hunt.
Oh, I will. And I'll tell stories about it for years to come.
Like I said, if we're ever in the same area, look us up. Want to hear how it happened.
Oh, you'll hear it. I promise you. You'll hear it from me first. And then as you walk away, you'll hear it sung on the lips of everyone here. Everyone who hears it will write it down in books. Say. Sorry, my brother flicked water on me. Anyway.
And that cackle off the,
Yeah, that was a good
off the
cackle.
mic.
Yeah. Fucker. Yep. Anyway. Everyone will sing about it. That's the long and short of it. It'll be legendary, as they say.
Right, well, I won't keep you. Enjoy your new posting.
I shall. Just as I enjoyed this one. And he actually gives a real salute. It was good to serve.
Flux will straighten up and give, I think, the first actual salute anyone on the squad has ever seen them give. Pleasure serving with you. I'm
Indeed.
serious, if I find out we're in the same area, and you didn't say hi, I'm taking the squad to hunt you down and shoot you in the foot.
You will know. Trust me, you will not have to hunt. I will make my way over. And I don't know. I'll probably challenge one of you to a fight just for fun. Probably Noalia. I want to fight. Oh, what did I call it? I didn't engrave it, so I forgot. What did I call your sword, Noalia?
Oh, 1 second. I've got it.
Crack.
Moraz.
Karak.
Yes!
Karak Maraz.
Yes, Mountain Splitter. Wonderful. Yes.
It's too bad that you had to go before we figured out how far Noali could throw you.
I mean, Noalia has thrown me at least 3 or 4 times. I think the upper range is like 15 meters at this point.
I hadn't known that y'all did that.
You didn't see it?
I'm pretty sure every time that she's thrown you, Flux has been elsewhere doing sneaky things.
Somewhat. There was the the second convoy ambush when we freed the prisoner. I threw Agril onto a tank.
Oh, I thought we didn't do that there. Rip.
Oops. Happens.
Well,
It's like, I thought
guess
you...
I forgot. Might have had my mind elsewhere.
You should know, when Agrotrom is in combat, you always watch him. For he brings the best spectacle.
That's fair.
Unless you're getting shot at, in which case, then it's understandable.
Hmm. I don't know. Sounds like an excuse to me.
Excuse for you, perhaps? What? Silence. Looks around. I forgot what I was going to say. Do you want a cigar before I go? It'll be the last one you have for a while.
I would appreciate that.
Flicks open the box. There you go. The last Agrotron brand cigar for this squad for however long it takes you to find mine being sold in stores.
Flux will take it and put it in a pocket. Save it for a rainy day.
Good, that's when they're best. The rain doesn't put them out. I made special blend just for that.
Oh no. You poured Promethium in the cigar.
Inhaled diesel fumes.
Let's go.
Let's be honest, it's not like Flux hasn't specifically gone out of their way to get high on diesel fumes before.
It would waste you more effectively than smoking an actual cigar.
That sounds
Exactly.
There you go. Atlas through all this is just kind of like looking like, yeah, this is how this goes.
This
Interesting.
exists.
Like, yep, this is people doing normal people things. That's right. Cool.
People.
Indeed.
Peopling.
That's
Yeah.
right.
As you tend to leave Agrotron, Frampt gives you a small inclination to the head. Says, I didn't have long to get to know you and some of your more interesting ideas, but try not to talk too loudly when others might hear.
I will keep this in mind, Commissar Fremd. Your words are not forgotten.
He gives you a nod, small quirk of the corner of his mouth, and gives you a firm salute, clicks his heels together. Good luck on your new posting.
God damn it.
Acontrol will return the gesture in kind. Say, I will endeavor to do my best, as I always do.
The Emperor wills it.
Yes. He stops for a second. As the Emperor wills it, yes. Indeed. Normally I like to say that different, but I respect you. So I will speak by your terms.
He gives another small inclination to the head, but lets you head on your way.
Yeah. He works his way over. It's time for a real drink.
Flux is just gonna slowly lean towards Frampt. On a scale of 1 to me, how likely was he to get shot for that? If you weren't feeling nice.
Very less charitable commissar had overheard. 7 or 8.
Glad to know I'm an acceptable upper echelon for that scale.
Beautiful.
Flux only stays alive because the commissariat needs an example of this will get you shot if you continue doing this.
Flux is an excellent example of towing the line.
Yeah.
Too useful to be shot for like something stupid, so they can. But not useful enough that if they push it, they won't be.
I think Atlas will take this moment as this kind of goes around to kind of turn to the only other person you kind of like might have some level of understanding with. He turns to Noalia.
Nolia's not there.
Yeah,
I
we're
thought-
not.
No.
I thought Noalia was there. Oh, my bad.
No.
I got
He's guarding the
She's-
door that Agro
Yeah.
got left
They
at.
kept
My
they
bad.
kept like people kept referring to her as though she were there, and every time
Yeah.
it's just like she's not there.
No,
Yeah,
she's over,
sorry, I
she's
was
over there
getting-
with me,
I was getting confused. It's like,
mopping up a body.
all right. Yeah, otherwise he kind of looks around. He'll turn to Founders and say, "It was very nice traveling with you, Mr. Founderson. Your stories were quite nice. Enlightening in some ways.
Glad you appreciated them, lad. You're welcome to ride with us anytime.
It would be my pleasure. May we meet again. By the Emperor's will."
He claps a hand across his chest, gives you a small bow. Says,
Yeah.
As the Emperor on Terra wills it.
Yep. Atlas will do a similar hand gesture. He'll start with his hand like this, and his hand on his staff, and he'll go like that, and stop with like a half symbol of the Aquila with his hand just below like his diaphragm.
Yeah. Russian makes his way off with Agrotrom towards the group of Ogrin and other squats.
Yes, our group definitely needed an aesthetic.
I endeavored to not make the funny haha flamer priest. I'll leave it at that. I just I figured that's
Endeavored,
I-
you say.
I appreciate
I-
that you did not make the Griffin priest.
I
Oh my
chose.
god.
Yeah, I look. I find that A, annoying, and B, overdone.
Yeah.
Look,
Okay.
I had my own thing. I made up my whole own bullshit sect to make it legit.
Hey, I look
great.
forward. I look forward to this.
I am interested to see where this goes. Though, if we're being honest, Frampt joining was Flux's nightmare, and now they like kind of like him, so they're like, yeah, whatever. This tracks. This tracks.
Yep.
This could go either very good or very bad.
Yeah,
Pretty
we'll-
much, and either way, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We'll find out next week
Yep.
as you get to know your new squad member.
Yeet.
As y'all get to know your new squad member, I have an interrogation to finish.
You might get to walk and talk with them for a second.
You'll note that Hugh cut this off specifically so he could take more notes before next week.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, for anyone who's worried about that, I didn't make this priest to like exercise some kind of position of power in any way. I've made this in a very specific way to have a character who will absolutely not do that for any
Okay.
reason.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. It's
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
Did you
do.
make a pacifist evangelical?
No, I made someone who acts when he must act, and not ever when he doesn't have to act. If he's getting shot at, he'll do something about it. But if he's not getting shot at, he'll do a different thing.
There are
like it.
millions of different legalized sects of the worship of the God Emperor in various and many forms. There are some legalized versions of sun worship, as long as they accept the sun as an effigy of the Emperor.
yeah. I remember that. That's a big thing on Feral Worlds. But, the way you're describing your character, Mason, reminds me of the little old man who was a shrine priest that follows the Tanith first and only around, or at least used to anyway. He was actually one of those that's like, nah, most of the rest of the church is pretty like burn everything to the ground. I'm just kind of like the Emperor loves you. He's gonna keep loving you.
It was Ayatani.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was a good guy. Anyway,
He was.
Atlas isn't exactly like that, but he's a chill guy.
before
But he can't beat the shit out of you. He is capable. He just probably won't unless you start something first.
Before I send everybody off on a raid, I wish to give a special shout out to Manolia for yet again attempting to have a follow bot on me. Good try there. Caught yet another of their variants in my chat, or at least in my audience.
Huh.
But let's see. We are. Let's see. If that follow bot. Unfortunately, I actually don't think I will send a raid. Just because, unfortunately, banning people does not stop them from seeing your stream or following your raids. So, we're not going to curse somebody else with that. So, hope everybody enjoyed, and hope you all have a good night. Bye!
Au revoir.
See ya.
Bye.